Hello. Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day today. It's me, Luke. I'm back with some more Punishing Grey Raven. I was planning on finishing this new chapter, A Better Tomorrow, last night, but it took longer than I expected. So we're gonna finish the rest of it tonight, hopefully. And then hopefully tomorrow I will be able to move on to the new Wuthering Waves main story interlude quest that comes out tomorrow. And then I'll be all set and like caught up in both these games before my surgery on Friday. And we'll have everything ready, and it'll be great. So I guess, I was gonna say without further ado, let's just start, but I guess I should probably give a little bit of a summary as to what's going on here. Hi, Cole! How are you? I hope you're having a good day. So, we are in a place called Karthiki. I don't actually remember why the Grey Raven Commandant is here, to be honest. But new playable character Nirvatia is here. This is kind of her homeland. She, as well as her, she was caught up in this big explosion that happened in Karthiki. Tons of people died. It was really weird, and the world government was like reporting facts about it that were not true. And so like everybody from Karthaki knows something's up. And they're like, hey, world government, could you like investigate what actually caused this explosion? Because it was really weird. And the world government kept being like, oh yeah, we'll get to it. We'll totally get to it. And they didn't. It's clear they're definitely covering something up. So Nirvatia and her little diva friend Yagenka, when they were teenage girls, they both were like, okay, we want the truth and nothing but the truth. And they had very different plans of going about it. Yagenka was very like, we'll openly resist and like maybe do a terrorism. And Nirvatia was like, I am going to infiltrate Babylonia and like get like really high like test scores in academic stuff, and then I'll be able to like talk to the entire world on like a global live stream because they're gonna want to brag about me like as their success story. Both plans fail. Now Nirvatia is the security director of the Science Council, and she has finally been sent to Karthiki on a mission to retrieve some data. And, you know, if while she's there, she just so happens to uncover the truth of what happened, I mean, that would just be so crazy. And Yagenka is also there. She joined the Forsaken in the time that they were apart. She was lured there by a letter, seemingly from Nirvatia, we know now it was a forgery, telling her that Margaret, the third girl of their little diva trio, is still alive because she supposedly died in the explosion. But no, she's here. Last we left off, the remaining people in Karthiki and Yagenka were trying to evacuate because things are bad here. There's an Ascendant who's like made a base camp here, and he's fucking people up. And so they're trying to do an evacuation. and they got very, very attacked. They're not doing well. But separately, the Grey Raven Commandant and Nirvatia were going deeper into the city to finish Nirvatia's mission and get that data. And again, maybe also discover the truth about what was happening, and maybe also put a stop to whatever is causing the punishing virus in Karthiki to grow and spread at a much faster rate than usual. So that's about where we left off. I guess where we just left off, the Grey Raven Commandant and Nirvatia got separated. Nirvatia is seemingly going to confront Margaret on her own. Because Margaret is, like, not herself. She seems like she's being, like, used by John Doe, the Ascendant, somehow. And meanwhile, Grey Raven Commandant is going to continue going deeper into the city in hopes of finding a way to, as you say, Cole, punish the punishing virus. So here we go. Golden Oak. Can you really bring down this giant tree on your own? Sure fucking hope so. Karthiki Satellite City. Eastern outskirts. About 193 minutes since Operation Hebron commenced. After seeing the green signal flare from the graveyard, the military and civilians of the satellite city immediately proceed in groups along the path cleared by the Special Task Force and begin their race against time. Just after the main force has evacuated the city, they suddenly hear an explosion coming from the graveyard, followed immediately by a blinding fireball that soars into the sky and lights up the barren hills. You've been doing well. You did a lot of art studies and painting today. Oh, that's so good. Honestly, I've had a little bit of a difficult day, just because I've been really tired. I did not sleep well last night. It's, like, kind of silly, but when I was trying to go to bed last night, I got really riled up and angry about AI music. And so I was just, like, quietly fuming in my bed. Commander Lee orders the communications officer to fire 3 yellow signal flares in succession, but the graveyard has fallen into an uncanny silence. Just as he decides to lead the entire army in an assault on the graveyard, the unexpected happens. Thank you for the head pats. The red mist blankets the sky and comes howling toward them at an unbelievable speed, sweeping over their heads like a plague of locusts darkening the heavens. How is this possible? The mist is moving faster than our vehicles. Terror spreads instantly as countless minds, already scarred and fractured by the red mist's previous assaults, finally shatter at this nightmarish sight. Ellie! Ellie! What are you doing? Let go! Get a hold of yourself! A woman sees her daughter in the mist and lets out a heart-rending wail, desperately grabbing at a soldier's weapon. Hello! You weren't expecting me 2 days in a row? I wasn't planning on it, but I didn't finish this last night, so here we are. I hope you're doing well. I'm here! I'm right here! Someone help! Grab him! Pull him out of there! A man sees his parents in the mist, tears off his clothes, and recklessly rushes toward a stream, plunging his head into the frigid water. You've been playing a series of poker games from the Telltale games? They did poker games? And you're still dealing with stress work, but coping. Okay, I'm sorry, but I hope you're able to get a break soon. No, you don't exist. You're me. You're nothing but me. Yeah, you joined at a very lighthearted time. There's a massacre happening. What are you supposed to be? You're nothing but an illusion created by my mind. You can't even see the divine. Someone in the mist comes face to face with his true self. They've lost their minds. They've all lost their fucking minds. Put those guns down right now. Do not open fire. The mist rolls silently onward as the crowd descends into chaotic panic, their formation all but disintegrated. A gunshot splits the air like a stone breaking the water's surface, sending ripples across the lake of chaos. People of Karthaki, stay calm! A commanding voice calls out, striving to salvage the last shred of sanity among the people. We've successfully taken the graveyard. Victory is within our grasp, and we'll be evacuating from here soon. Oh, he lying. The crowd turns to look at him as Lee raises his right fist. He is no stranger to situations like this. The punishing virus seeks to crush our will, but we are descendants of the people who went back. The indomitable spirit of Karthaki cannot be matched. Think of our fallen heroes. Yeah, all he does is lie, but like, at least in this case, he's like doing it so people like don't flip the fuck out. His eyes suddenly widen as his rousing speech dies on his lips. Why? You? The countless faces before him twist and blur, gradually transforming into grotesquely mutilated forms. He forgot the E in his name. Oh my god, you're right. Why didn't you come with us? No, you're all dead. How can this be? You are a coward. A blood-soaked arm seizes his left leg. I'm not a coward. Your children have lived on to this day because of me. I mean, let's be real, you kind of are a coward. You are a traitor. A putrid, rotting head clamps onto his right arm. Head? Do they mean hand? I'm not. I did everything I could. No one remembers our names. How could you forgive Babylonia? That's because... Fetid, rotting flesh swarms over him, smothering his mouth and nose. Why didn't you come with us? I know. A typo? Crazy. Although honestly, they had way more typos in their early days. No, I couldn't. Why didn't you come with us? Didn't you come with us? Didn't you come with us? Hi, people are dying. Hi, Ash Frost. You know, what else is new? About 206 minutes after the commencement of Operation Hebron, the Golden Oak completes its catalysis, releasing highly concentrated red mist that spreads across the river almost instantaneously. Is someone trying to temper his anxiety? This does nothing to help. Well, very soon I'm probably going to be able to beat stuff up. That might help. In rapid succession, the graveyard loses all communications, and the main forces are engulfed by the red mist. The operation, having been anticipated by John Doe, is doomed to failure from the very beginning. Meanwhile, far away in the radiation zone, you continue to struggle alone, making one final desperate stand. Alright, let's go! Is this a Commandant gameplay scene? Okay. Might eat a little chocolate and then we'll start. So this is the Golden Tree's core. Gotta find a way to plant the bombs. I'll look around the area. This switch still looks like it's on. The console shows one switch is still off. Check the room over there. The red mist is getting thicker. Gotta hurry. Ooh, this music is fun. The core is protected. Gotta blast open the branches on both sides first. I thought I was gonna attack them. I just have to interact with them. Okay. That makes sense too. Oh, now there's things. The bombs are planted. Hold this position for a while longer. Blocker. It's almost at its limit. Ah! Oh boy. Ah! Did it work? Huh? Is that supposed to happen? Oh, friendship. The divas, the Diva Patrol. Comrades. Now they're setting out to reclaim their family and to take back their blood-soaked victory. The night her parents died, Yagenka witnessed the most brilliant starry sky in human history. To defend Earth, Captain Zbysko and Captain Danusia gave their lives heroically alongside the crew of the Miracle, crashing into an out-of-control starship. Before the eyes of all humanity, they held back the falling stars, sacrificing themselves as heroes, becoming the pillars that supported a crumbling era. What does the punishing virus do again? It kills people and infects machines and makes them go haywire and kill people. This red mist is a unique manifestation of the punishing virus that has, from what I read, like much less physical, like symptoms and more mental symptoms. It seems to make people hallucinate a lot, but people didn't know exactly what it did because nobody who ever entered this area ever came out alive. So. Also, we know from past chapters that the punishing virus as we have it now isn't even how it was supposed to be. We have the nerfed punishing virus. It was supposed to be like something that spreads through information itself and like has a very long asymptomatic period that eventually leads to someone just completely losing their mind. But certain actions were taken with the benefit of knowledge from an alternate timeline. Certain actions were taken in precaution that allowed the part of the virus that did that to be captured. Yeah, memes laced with the punishing virus. Exactly. It's even called the contaminating mimetic. But in Yagenka's eyes, they were never heroes. He would never forget their last night together before they left. Give me your hand. Trembling, Yagenka extended her right hand, upon which rested a crudely crafted model of a spaceship. I made it from things I found in the storage room. Does it look like the Miracle? The one you'll be on next? Yagenka's voice trembled as she kept her head down, though her eyes instinctively darted up to gauge her father's reaction. Boards, wires, light bulbs. More of this junk. Haven't I warned you not to rummage through that filthy stuff? Her father frowned, staring at the oil-stained toy with nothing but revulsion in his eyes. You have the noble blood of Actilac and transatlantic aristocracy running through your veins. Those fingers are meant for piano and etiquette, not for picking up garbage and tinkering with worthless scraps of metal. He suddenly clenched his fist, instantly crushing the delicate little starship. Dad! We're leaving tomorrow on a 6-month mission, possibly longer. The entire world is watching our family. Here you are, picking through trash outside our home. Look at yourself in the mirror, face covered in oil, clothes filthy with dust. Is this how a noble daughter should appear? If any journalist photographed you like this, I'd look like the father of a vagrant. I just miss you both so much. Yagenka fought back tears, her words becoming jumbled. Yagenka, we're risking our lives for humanity's noblest cause. The only thing you need to do is not distract your mother and me. Feeling dejected, Yagenka looked toward the entryway where her mother stood. Smoking in the shadows, her mother did not even glance in their direction. Remember, you are the daughter of Space Force officers. Out there, everyone will respect you and overlook your minor flaws because of your status. But at home, I expect you to be worthy of that honor, instead of disappointing us. Oh damn, her parents kinda suck. They really bucked the trend of like, dead parents are always the best. Nope, her dead parents sacrificed themselves for a noble cause and also were kind of terrible to her, it seems. Yagenka shook her head, desperately wishing she could cry out and tell them all she needed was a farewell embrace. But her father had already turned away, crushing the fragments of the miracle beneath his feet as he picked up his suitcase. Put away these hobbies of yours before we return. Focus on your studies and training instead of tarnishing our name. The nanny will take care of you. Stay out of trouble. The door clicked shut. Good grief, you again. Why are you always getting into fights with the boys? Can't you behave yourself for once? Look at you. Your face is covered in bruises. Have you forgotten how a young lady should behave? Bullshit! They were the ones picking on someone else first. You dare use such language? Go stand in the hallway. Just bear with her. She's Bisco's daughter, the orphan of a martyr. Part of your paycheck comes from the government fund for her. How could people like them have raised such an uncouth daughter? Yagenka snapped her head up. Daughter, daughter, daughter! I'm not someone's pet or piece of clothing. I have a name. I'm Yagenka. She shouted, her gaze piercing like daggers as she fixed the adults with an unwavering stare. Do you even know me? Why should I become whatever satisfies you? You think my parents were perfect? Great heroes? Fine, let me tell you the truth. Bisco drank himself sick every week, and Danusia spent every night at her boyfriend's place. My god, what are you saying? Hold your tongue. See? You never care about what's right or wrong. You only want to hear what makes you comfortable. As if silencing me would magically erase all the damage they did to Yagenka. They weren't some pristine, untouchable heroes. They were human beings, a couple with a long list of failings who never once acted like proper parents. Yagenka, get out! That's enough. The military officer shook his head, cutting off the teacher's reprimand. Yeah, rich people ain't shit. Yagenka, we understand you must be hurting since your parents passed, but... Shut up! She shouted, making everyone in the room jump. Parents? It's always about my parents! Why does everyone have to keep bringing them up? You want to punish me? Fine. I'll go give that little brat another beating right now. I'll make sure he never dares bully anyone or snitch again. She turned and yanked open the door. And listen carefully. Ever since my parents died, I have never felt sad about it. Not once. With a thunderous bang, she slammed the door behind her. From that night onward, the family that Yagenka both feared and longed for suddenly transformed into martyred heroes and humanity's brightest stars. Just as her mother had predicted, everyone would respect her because of her parents' status, forgiving every mistake she made. Even though she utterly despised her family bloodline. Even though she never asked for this special treatment. She just wanted to be herself. To be Yagenka. To be free a free and independent individual. Since the adults hypocritically tolerated her because of her background, she decided to push boundaries even further, constantly testing the limits of their patience to assert her own identity. To this end, on the day of midterm exams, she hacked into the terminal and cheated her way to first place. But to her frustration, no one detected any trace of her mischief this time. Yugenka, did you read all the extra materials I assigned? You were the only one in class who answered those questions correctly. I thought you weren't interested in literature. I'm sorry for being too harsh on you before. You have time now. There are a few questions you missed that I'd like to go over with you privately. She had never imagined that the respect and understanding she longed for would manifest in such an unexpected way. Although the honor wasn't truly hers, it was the first time she heard praise directed at Yugenka herself. Yugenka, this Excellence Award is for you. Your name is on it. As the top student in the class, you've earned this honor. Also, I've noticed your athletic talent. The way you handled Jane. Even the PE teachers couldn't catch up to you. Is there anything you need help with lately? Academically or privately? I heard your parachute club produces a lot of Air Force recruits. I want to join. She did earn them in her own right by cheating and not getting caught. Yeah, I guess so. She didn't earn them the right way, but she did earn them. Club? You're too young. The training is so intense that most can't stick with it. Besides, I've never accepted a female student before. Perfect. Then I'll be the first. And let me make one thing clear. I'm not anyone's shadow, and I'm not so-and-so's daughter. I'm Yugenka, and I can do better than they ever did. From then on, to defend this fraudulent yet infinitely precious honor, Yugenka pushed herself relentlessly, flapping her wings with all her might to prove she could soar higher than anyone expected. Her desk, on the field. She pushed herself to the limit, bringing every drop from her modest talents, striving to be first in everything, with one goal in mind: to someday prove she could outdo her parents. Academics, sports, combat, even social life. Not only was she skilled at earning praise from others, but she grew increasingly intoxicated by it. On the first day of the new semester, she overheard an argument in the corner of the schoolyard. We treated you like a friend, and you can't even tell us apart. I didn't mean to. Hey, what's going on here? You haven't heard? Everyone's talking about her. This girl was greeting people all over campus yesterday, and today she's acting like she's never seen us before. I'm sorry. Stop playing innocent. I gave you all those snacks yesterday, but you were just messing with us. No one's ever going to be friends with you again. Let's go. Do I get intoxicated by the attention from my three little stooges in chat? Well, I should first say I don't think of them as three little stooges, but also I would say probably not. I don't think so. I feel like maybe I'm having too much fun playing the game for that. I'm just having a good time, you know? The crowd scattered, leaving only Yugenka and this strange, bewildered girl before her. The girl kept her head slightly bowed, her silver hair falling messily across her forehead as her fingers unconsciously clutched the hem of her skirt. pinching small wrinkles into the fabric. Yagenka stepped closer, her gaze inadvertently drawn to the girl's eyes. They were pale purple, like violets veiled in morning mist. Now they were filled with an almost otherworldly bewilderment. She knew that look all too well. She'd seen the same reflection countless times in her own mirror, whenever people either granted her undeserved leniency or scrutinized her merely for being the daughter of heroes. Suddenly, an absurd yet crystal clear thought flashed through her mind. No one in this world was willing to approach someone who couldn't remember their faces. And perhaps I could become the first. Hey, As an isolated soul, she had a desperate, almost pathological need for others' dependency. Something to fill the void of affection long absent from her family life. She smiled and extended her hand to the girl before her. Yeah. I don't remember if you were around for it, but we did learn conclusively that Margaret has a condition similar to face blindness. It's not exactly face blindness, because we also know now Margaret is and apparently has been a construct the entire time Yagenka and Nirvatia knew her. And this thing inside of her is damaging her mind. Face blindness is just like one of the early symptoms. And she said that eventually she's going to forget everything. I'm Yagenka. What's your name? What's the thing inside of her? They refer to it as the seedling. It's some kind of golden branch-shaped thing that's growing inside her. I believe the things it can do are, it can soothe people's minds when they make contact with her. It can, create a magnetic field around her that suppresses the punishing virus, and at like extremely high outputs can even like slow like falling objects. But it is steadily growing inside of her, and it is taking power from her mind in order to grow. She's pregnant with a tree. At first, their friendship wasn't easy. It wasn't until Margaret placed a golden bracelet on Yagenka's wrist that she could truly recognize her friend in a crowd. Yagenka sprinted down life's course, accumulating awards and honors, while her bond with Margaret grew increasingly genuine and profound. One weekend evening, after staying late for training, Yagenka hurried to their usual spot on the old warehouse rooftop. By the time she arrived, only the last streak of gold remained in the sky. Yagenka! Margaret sat hugging her knees, a small ribbon-tied box beside her. You're never on time. I've been waiting forever. If you're late again, I'll eat the whole cake by myself. I'm thinking of that one Mario meme. Dear Yagenka, don't come to the roof tomorrow. I baked an absolute dog shit cake. Just completely fucked it up. I'm sorry. She sat down beside Margaret, their shoulders gently touching. What flavor is the cake? She tucked her sweat-dampened bangs behind her ear, catching her breath. Want a taste? Yeah. Margaret gently untied the ribbon and cradled the fragrant cake in her palms, as if holding a precious treasure. The cake's outer layer was a translucent gold that was similar to Yagenka's hair color. Open wide! Margaret smiled as the sunset briefly brushed her fingertips, momentarily lingering on the small silver spoon and making it gleam brilliantly. Did you ever talk about your dog shit cake story? No, I don't think so. Without realizing it, he had become completely absorbed, growing increasingly attached to everything about Margaret and becoming the one who sought dependency. She had believed this unique, exclusive connection would continue indefinitely, gradually filling the barren depths of her heart. Hi, Ellen! How are you? I hope you're having a good day today. We're continuing with Punishing Grey Raven. Right now we're learning about how Yagenka and Margaret met and became friends. Also, we learned that Yagenka's parents were real poopy doo-doo. He pulled up my stream as Owlin argues with someone in Final Fantasy XIV RP. He's like having an argument with somebody in the quicksand, and you're just like, I'm gonna pull up my shows. Very funny. Your friend and you baked a birthday cake for a friend back in college that was super lumpy, covered in glitter, and started leaking mystery liquid. I can call the parents bitches. I mean, I would. I don't know. I was looking for words and I didn't find them. I think I was kind of going for dog shit, but I had already said dog shit like 3 times recently. And I was like, I need to vary up my words a bit. You love Final Fantasy XIV RP shenanigans? I haven't done a whole lot of RP in that game. I'd like to do more. It's more dramatic. A dude hooked up with him a month ago, that never called back, never answered, and now the guy showed up on his doorstep? Ooh. I wonder if he has a good excuse. Or was it just... I don't know. Was it just a one-night stand? Or was there... In your old guild, someone accidentally posted their ERP in the FC chat and immediately left and blocked everyone. Oh no! I mean, that's embarrassing, but like... You don't have to leave and block everybody. Until one day, a transfer student intruded into her world. Who gave you permission to mess with someone else's things? She stole away that exclusive dependency. I flipped through the textbook once and memorized everything. She stole the first place that she lived for. Although, she had also brought many things with her. But in the end, she forcibly pried Yagenka's fingers apart and took Margaret away amid the flames of war. Nirvatia stole everything Yagenka believed in, everything she cherished, robbing her of any chance to bid farewell to countless lives that meant so much to her. Yeah, she's kind of low-key blaming Nirvatia for knocking her out and bringing her to safety when Yagenka wanted to rush directly into danger. He's lucky he's attractive, or else Owlin would have slammed the door. Oh my god. Well, I wonder how it's gonna go. For decades, she spent countless sleepless nights clawing Nirvatia's image from her mind, desperately trying to erase every last memory of Nirvatia's existence. Yet when Yagenka finally saw her again, why couldn't I bring myself to hate her? All those emotions she had accumulated crumbled like sand when she finally looked into Nirvatia's eyes. They slipped silently through her tightly clenched fists and the passages of time until nothing remained. You saw I was streaming and you're invested in the storyline between Yagenka, Margaret, and Nirvatia. I am too! The doomed diva squad. I wanna know what happens. Yagenka is like dying somewhere right now. And like, I don't want her to die. I want them to reunite and make up. You're invested in the sequel to this RP drama? Okay, so you said he's attractive. Like, what does his character look like? I want to get a mental image. He sounds toxic like an Aura. Isn't Owlin an Aura, or am I remembering wrong? Red mist churned through her thoughts as the vast, dark void of space quietly envelops her. So wait. Oh, who dat? So no matter... Is that Jing? So no matter how much time passes, you're still haunted by what happened in this place. From the endless darkness, a blurry silhouette slowly materializes and sits beside her. Boss, don't you realize it? You've never really moved on from that day. Jing? Aren't you... Don't worry, boss. You're tough as nails. This isn't your life flashing before your eyes. I am Zhang, but I'm also you. I represent all those you couldn't save. I'm the embodiment of your inner wounds. In her daze, something seems to be knocking against the walls of this dark world. You never let it go, did you? That's impossible. I've already put everything about this place behind me the day I left with the old man. Person's wounds never lie. The boy smiles gently. I joined the Forsaken, wandered the world, eliminated the corrupted, and even fought against Babylonia. For 20 years, I've been caught in countless more devastating conflicts, witnessed innumerable more painful partings. I'm a ranger, destined to charge into battlefield after battlefield. What makes you think Karthiki would become a prison that shackles me for life? Also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but can we talk about, like, how cunty her little, like, combat skirt, corset, like, fancy little ribbon ensemble is? She looks so cute! She got the bleaky on standby, ready to fire. The bleaky. I'm not sure I know what that means. You're only telling half the story. You rush into countless battlefields, but then what? What do you do after? Oh, firearm. Okay. Yeah, she do. She do. To help those who need me. So you're just repeatedly trying to do what you failed to accomplish that day. His voice is calm, yet sharp enough to pierce straight through to her soul. You've repeated this cycle for countless years. Are you satisfied? Has this compulsion brought you even the slightest fulfillment? She unconsciously begins twirling a strand of her hair again. See, wounds never lie. The muffled sounds in the darkness grow increasingly loud. Tell me, what do you truly want? Humanity's greatest weakness and greatest strength has always been that passionate, beating heart. When you use it to examine yourself, no scar can remain hidden. It has already shown you the answer, but it wants you to say it aloud yourself. The dull thuds pulse like heartbeats, sending tremors through the lightless void. I want to go back to that day. I want to save Margaret. Oh, I didn't mean to. Ah! Stop it! No! No! Ah! Ah! Blah, blah, blah. I didn't mean to auto. I was just trying to take off my blanket because I'm getting hot. A crisp, shattering sound reverberates from the distance as a faint beam of light shines through. I want her to see that I can run faster and become stronger. I want to tell her that I've grown, that I've become someone who can protect her better. Why is everything so lighthearted now? Oh, it's not. This is happening as Yagenka is like on the edge of death. She tears away the scabbed wound, staring directly at the raw affliction beneath. I want to go back to that day. Stop Nirvatia's wild plans. Slap some sense into her, and tell her loudly. Aren't we family? Why do you always take everything on by yourself? Don't be so arrogant. I'm much stronger than you, so... let me share your pain too. I really, really hate you. I hate how you took Margaret away, how you act like nothing matters when everything does. I never wanted to lose to you in anything, yet I was always afraid you'd fall behind. Why do you think that was? It's because I longed for you so deeply. Longed for this home that gave me warmth and acceptance. Her voice breaks as she screams into the silent darkness of her life. It's so hard to live. I keep climbing back up after I fall, bloodied and broken, all just to pretend that I can return to that day, that moment, to look back at you one more time. Yeah, Yuri! Been lost. I've struggled, but I survived it all. I've become the reliable adult I wanted to be. But no matter how hard I try, how much I burn myself away, I can never see your smiling faces again. I never wanted some dazzling, perfect life. I just want to go back. To laugh with you, to cry with you, to run blindly into tomorrow with you. To run toward a better tomorrow. Margaret, Nirvatia, where are you? They're right here. A warm force reaches across time and space, grasping Yagenka's arm. The vision before her shatters violently as Yagenka jolts awake, returning to the flame-engulfed graveyard. In the direction of the rumbling, the golden oak has burst through the majestic monument amid the red mist and grown into a colossal tree that stretches toward the heavens. Why does she look like that one blonde boy who's a sword prodigy from Star Rail? I don't know if I really see it myself. Explosions thunder across the sky as the giant tree's branches sway violently. Only then does Yagenka realize that it is the sounds of battle from across the river that have pulled her back to consciousness. Nirvatia. Brave Raven Commandant. They're still fighting. With great effort, Yagenka rises to her feet, gritting her teeth against the bone-searing pain as she takes one labored step after another toward a familiar destination. She reaches into her waist pouch and, from its deepest compartment, carefully extracts a precious string. This time, I will save you all. I swear it. She gently fastens the treasures around her wrist, then pulls open the hangar doors, allowing the heroes long silenced by time to see the light of day once more. Now, it is time to depart. To reclaim their family, and to take back their blood-soaked victory. Your laptop died? What did you miss in the past minute? Not much. Yagenka woke up from where she'd been unconscious, saw the giant tree in the distance, and decided that she's going to try to come help Nirvatia and the Grey Raven Commandant. I don't know how she's gonna, but she's gonna try. By the time Lee regains his senses, the crowd before him has vanished without a trace. Was it the tree Margaret was pregnant with? I think so, yes. I don't know if it's the exact same thing. Like, maybe there's like one inside her, but there's also one outside of her now. I don't know. Maybe it's like a projection of the tree inside her. I don't know. The thick fog quietly recedes, its colors shifting and transforming into a wide, damp street. Above, red banners connect the buildings, fluttering in the wind to the rhythm of the stirring music. I hope not. That would be kind of crazy. Now he remembers. This was from long ago, on Victory Day. On that day, a fine drizzle fell from the gray, overcast sky. Still a major, then. He practically leaped from the car, the bloodstains on his uniform yet to be washed away. His medals gleamed brilliantly, clicking softly as he moved. He ran down the familiar boulevard, pushing through the expected crowds, making his way to his mother's residence. As the sole survivor of the garrison command, and a hero who successfully prevented the spread of the radiation zone, Lee was bestowed the highest honor of People's Hero by the world government. Practically dragging a body that had been crushed by war and pieced back together, his only thought now was to tell his long-separated mother that he was safe. Beneath the crisscrossing apartment buildings, children gathered as always, eager to hear stories from the front lines. They huddled around the faded propaganda posters, imagining war as something distant and exciting. He frantically searched through the crowd. Fatigue, injuries, and the overwhelming emotion of coming home left him lightheaded. Finally, he spotted a familiar, slightly plump figure washing something by the nearby pool. In that moment, all the helplessness, pain, and suffering suppressed on the battlefield surged into his throat. Like a child finally finding his way home, he called out to the figure who seemed able to save him, his eyes bright with tears. "Mom!" The wanderer's cry echoed between the dark apartment buildings, startling a flock of white doves, his voice nearly breaking with emotion. Time seemed to freeze for an instant. Then, Major witnessed a scene he would never forget for the rest of his life. From the pool's edge, beneath the shade of trees, by the windows, dozens of pairs of eyes turned toward him in unison, each filled with the same desperate hope and expectation. Major Lee stood frozen in place. The slightly plump figure also turned around, revealing a worried-looking face he didn't recognize. She looked at the man before her, and in just an instant, the flicker of hope that sparked in her eyes vanished. Shaking her head, she sighed and looked down again, vigorously scrubbing a shirt too small to be her own. You got a "what the hell are you listening to" from your parents? Oh boy. I don't know how I feel about your parents hearing me read about really depressing shit. "Auntie Wang, where's my mother?" He stopped, a familiar face. Her son had been a platoon leader in the 3rd Battalion, who had charged at the corrupted with explosive packs back in Karthaki. She shook her head. "Auntie Al, where's my mother?" Her daughter had been his clerk, who followed Staff Officer Alyosha into the burning ruins of Karthaki. She remained silent, waving her hand dismissively. "Mom!" He shouted again, his heart racing with desperation. This time, not a single gaze turned to acknowledge him. Storm clouds rolled across the distant horizon, releasing deep, mournful rumbles. After a long silence, a kindly old woman stopped at the Major's side. "Last week, some corrupted broke through to the outskirts of the city. Xiao Ping and Old Man Ma, they were there when it happened." The Major's pupils contracted sharply, his briefcase tumbling from his hand to the ground. "What did you say?" "Please accept my condolences." Lee felt his mind explode, every color before his eyes blurring into an unfocused haze. His first feeling wasn't grief, but an overwhelming sense of injustice and unfairness. Questions swarmed like ants, blocking out all reason and coherent thought. They call that denial. It's the first in a series of 5 stages. There's a show I watched, Community, where one of the characters at one point became a psychology student, and she was like, what this is here is denial, and it is the first stage. It is the first stage in this, how exactly did she say it? It is the first of 5 stages of grief that ends in acceptance. And then one of the other characters was like, name any other stage. And she goes, "What are you, my final?" He fell to his knees, wanting to scream in hysteria, but bile surged up first, choking the words in his throat. "Xiaoping never told you that Ma was her last surviving comrade in arms." Is that Lee? Is he still alive? Well, I mean, this is a flashback, But in the present day, yes, he is still alive. Although maybe not for long. I don't know. The day you were born, their squad was I lost the voice. The day you were born, their squad was ambushed by rebels. Almost everyone perished. Ma only survived by playing dead among the fallen. Ever since, they both carried the guilt of surviving their comrades, constantly feeling the eyes of the dead watching them. Those young soldiers, barely out of their teens and full of laughter and life, led and weathered storms together. They will be forever frozen in their youth. Now the wind has brought them all together again. All are turned to dust in the earth, no longer separate or apart. To this day, Lee can't remember if he shed any tears that day. But he will never forget those hopeless eyes and the lesson his mother's death taught him. To live is to bear a burden. It is a debt that demands you fulfill the wishes of the dead and carry all of history's suffering into tomorrow. For the rest of his life, he will carry the burden of his comrades' sacrifices, forever unable to escape the day of the explosion. Suddenly, a distant rumble of thunder erupts into a deafening boom that shakes the skies, jolting him back to the crowded evacuation line. Commander Lee jolts, as if pulled to surface from underwater, suddenly hearing the sounds of the real world. The wind, the distant muffled explosions, the breathing of those around him. Coming to his senses, he sees the golden oak has burst beyond the city limits, reaching toward the sky. Its massive branches tremble with each boom, its shape resembling the thick smoke from that explosion years ago. Was that the red mist? Lee instinctively turns toward the sound, seeing countless bewildered faces looking upward, just like his own. I saw my father. He was sitting by the stove, telling me to keep moving forward, not to hang my head. Did you all see them too? Yeah, I saw my mother. She was smiling at me through the mist. She told me not to be sad, that she would become many things around me and always be by my side. And she grew brighter and brighter, until finally I saw that explosion again. Nothing was left. Maybe this is Margaret's influence. If the red mist is coming from the tree, and the tree is coming from her, maybe she has some degree of influence over it. Maybe she's trying to spare these people. A wave of anguish ripples through the crowd as each person confronts their own trauma within these visions. Though each scar is unique, they all originate from the same day, the same terrible moment. We've lost contact with the graveyard. We need to execute the contingency plan. Our only chance of survival is to secure those vehicles. Can we really outrun this mist? Look at the sky. It's moving too fast. What good is that kind of defeatist talk? If we don't try, we're all dead anyway. And what happens after we escape? Where can the Carthaginians even go? Commander, please give us your orders. Through the chaos, an adjutant looks toward Commander Lee. His Adam's apple bobs, but he says nothing in the end. His gaze fixes on the increasingly monstrous silhouette of the massive tree looming in the mist. Reactor number 4 works just like the zero-point engine. So the punishing virus mist will keep pouring from its base. If it isn't shut down, the virus will spread. Whole fucking Earth will bathe in red in less than 2 months. The red mist continues to spread. Left unchecked, it will threaten not just Karthiki, but also the fate of other conservation areas, and perhaps even the entire Earth. Nirvatia, and the Grey Raven Commandant. He murmurs under his breath. Can those two alone really bring down this colossal tree? Behind them, the horizon burns crimson as if the entire sky is shuddering in flames. The view transports him back to that blood-soaked morning from the past. He looks at the people around him, each one having fought and struggled through the darkest of times to make it this far. Looking at their faces, he sees the reflection of his fallen comrades staring back at him for the briefest moment. They are watching, bearing witness to his choice. Comrades. At last, he speaks the word that had once filled him with shame. Right now, the Grey Raven Commandant and Nirvatia are fighting for their lives on the other side of the river. They are fighting to save this world, and to save us all. They need our help. So, the crowd gradually stills, their movement ceasing as they gaze at him in silence. What did he say to these same silent faces on that day so long ago? He is long forgotten. But he will never forget the choice the people of Karthiki made. I'll go. Commander Lee removes his coat and puts on his military cap. The Spartacus, a ship that once carried us to safety, is docked at the river port. I will return to the satellite city and sail to assist the Grey Raven Commandant in destroying the Golden Oak. I will fight with everything I have until the very end, to create one last chance for you to evacuate. This time, turns around without a moment's hesitation. During my years among your parents' generation, I came to understand one truth. Every line etched into history reflects our struggles. The desperate fight for survival, waged by millions of ordinary people. What gives it weight isn't elegant rhetoric or profound prose, but rather what happiness I'm willing to sacrifice for the right cause, as I struggle along this arduous path. He draws a deep breath, as if trying to take in the very last air of this land into his lungs. Tell the people, I have lived a magnificent life. This is my glorious existence. I will atone for my sins like a hero, and carry hope and embers into tomorrow. After I'm gone, the future of Karthiki will be yours to decide. Comrades, take care. With those words, he steps forward, ready to charge down the deathbound path illuminated by flames. Commander Lee! He stops abruptly, turning to look behind him. You don't think Karthiki belongs to you alone, do you? The people smile and raise their hands, just as their parents had done before them. We grew up reading our parents' stories, and now that we're facing the same situation, you expect us to turn a blind eye? He sees a young boy carrying a weapon as tall as himself. You can barely shovel coal by yourself. Let us help you get the Spartacus running. He sees the workers grinning at him, raising their callus-covered palms. Commander, we are the last of the Karthiki Garrison Regiment. Under the banner of the world government, we swore an oath to every life on Earth. Lee sees a one-armed soldier firmly gripping a pistol with his remaining hand, and using his teeth to tighten the holster strap before nodding assuredly in Lee's direction. He sees the young miners with coal dust still on their faces, cafeteria workers in worn aprons, and even that quiet boy who always stared at the monument, the one whose father reportedly perished in the explosion. In this moment, they all stand behind him. You all... There are no battle cries, no oaths, just silent smiles and steady gazes, burning with an eternal flame. He turns slowly and renders a military salute. Commander! The boy approaches and stops in front of him, straightening the commander's immaculate uniform. You wear that uniform more deservingly now than ever before. A few more figures step forward and, without prompting, move to stand alongside Commander Lee as equals. In that instant, Commander Lee's vision blurs. Through these living, resolute faces before him, he can see other familiar figures from the past. Gregory straightening his hard hat and flashing an encouraging smile. Captain Zana wiping blood and ash from her face, saluting with that same piercing gaze. Staff Officer Alyosha giving his shoulder one final pat before smiling and charging straight into the inferno. He sees countless figures in weathered overalls and olive green uniforms turning to smile at him as they march against the overwhelming tide. Lee gazes at these eternally passionate, forever young souls, his eyes welling with tears as he returns their smile. Come, my comrades. He straightens his military cap and turns to face his burning homeland. Let us cry out for victory and tell this world that we lived, that we were here. Behind him stands not a solitary shadow, but a line of fighters formed of workers, soldiers, and students. They have gathered all of Karthaki's scattered embers, forming a defiant current of life that refuses to surrender hope. For Karthaki! For all who live and all who have fallen! For a better tomorrow! After decades of suffering, these miraculous and noble people make the same choice once again. Though their voices may seem insignificant, and their names may be forgotten, they step forward without hesitation, their resolve unwavering. The last bullet. No matter how painful and long the night, there will always be flames determined to crash against the darkness, igniting miracles. With thunderous roars, the massive crystal branches collapse like the rigid limbs of a fallen giant, crashing down to shake the earth and send plumes of dense smoke skyward. As the final explosive detonate, the heaven-spanning golden oak disintegrates, and rays of sunlight break through the shattered dome, showering down upon you. Relentless tremors shake every fiber of your being. After wave upon wave of combat, your body has reached its breaking point, with blood seeping steadily from your mouth, nostrils, and ears. Did we succeed? Cascading sunlight illuminates the darkness. Crimson motes drift through the air like dancing cottonwood seeds. As the thick smoke gradually dissipates, the main trunk of the golden oak remains standing despite being covered in cracks, continuing to exhale the red mist. What? Ah! With a piercing shriek, the metal colossus lunges from the mist. Though you instinctively dodge, its iron claws still manage to strike your chest, impact hurling you against the wall. You gouge a meters-long trail across the ground before slamming into the stone wall. Excruciating pain erupts through you, accompanied by the sickening crunch of breaking bones. Is that what that was about? I heard something about it being hole filling season. Mostly the jokes about it. Well, it's hole filling season, everyone. You should call him. Blood mist clouds your vision as the corrupted howls and glints in the sunlight, like a ferocious beast bathed in blood and fire. Corrupted raises its claws high and launches itself into the air, before diving toward you like a streaking blur of cold steel from above. You pull the trigger, and a searing projectile launches forth. Oil gushes from the creature's shattered eye socket, raining down on your face like hot, scalding blood. Where's this thing's eye socket, even? Where would it be? Its iron claws pierce the wall above you and swing down as it falls, carving a meters-long gash before burying themselves in your shoulder, shredding flesh and scraping against your shoulder blade. Ugh. Looks like they're gonna have to get my room ready at the Star of Life again. The armor plates on your palms are on the verge of breaking, sending a numbing pain through your hands. Even the slightest movement feels as if rusty blades are twisting inside your wound. As blood continues to pump out. Blood sprays outward as overwhelming pain nearly claims your consciousness. Time seems to stretch infinitely, so much that you can hear the sickening sounds of tendons scraping against the metal blade. Finally, as the iron claws drop to the ground, your knees buckle beneath you and slam against the floor. As the smoke gradually dissipates, countless chilling stares emerge from within, like vultures sizing up their prey. Again, stares, but where are their eyes even? Have to destroy the golden oak. Blood foam clogs your nose and mouth. Feels like thousands of razor wires are wrapped around your muscles, and the slightest movement threatens to shred your organs to a bloody pulp. But with the situation so dire, worrying about your own safety is a luxury you cannot afford. Scalding liquid surges up from your stomach, erupting with blood as you cough violently. Get up. You grit your teeth and clench your fists as your shattered bones emit a spine-chilling crunch. The scent of blood seems to have agitated the enemies, stirring up their predatory instincts. They paw at the ground impatiently, preparing to pounce. Get up! In the crumbling ruins, your battered body slowly rises. I have to destroy the golden oak. You barely manage one step before your torn tendons give way, sending your entire body pitching forward to the ground. Careful. Just then, a warm force catches your falling body. Watch your step, Luke. You look up to see a familiar girl holding your hand, smiling warmly. Margaret? In your dazed state, you seem to see more shadowy figures emerging slowly from the mist, taking their places beside you. Some carry weapons, others wear hard hats. Though their faces remain unclear, there's something hauntingly familiar about them. They are the workers and soldiers who rest eternally in this place. More and more of these phantoms materialize, forming a massive wall of fog that blocks the swarming corrupted's relentless assault. Why are you all here? People can see what they yearn for in the mist, and so can this land. The girl steadies her body as a cool breeze passes through, making her silver hair gently sway in the sunlight. Karthiki was calling to us, so we came. Karthiki was calling? Or should I say, it was you, Nirvatia, and all those countless brave and kind souls whom you didn't get. She tilts her head, guiding your gaze toward the phantoms valiantly holding back the corrupted. The red mist can awaken your fear, but it can also ignite light and hope, just like what we're witnessing now. Strangely, Margaret before you seems far more mature and level-headed than you remembered. What must I do to end this catastrophe? She raises her other hand, pointing toward the crumbling golden tree trunk at the center. That's where my body slumbers, the heart of the golden oak. Only by destroying it and extracting the seedling can you stop the red mist from spreading further. But we're out of explosives. Even the brightest light struggles to pierce such thick storm clouds on its own. Margaret squeezes your hand. In that hazy moment, pain in your palm seems to gradually fade away. But look, they've come. She gazes at the hazy figures battling the corrupted, her voice soft as she explains what seems like the most obvious truth in the world. A spark will draw more sparks. Courage will inspire courage. This is how we've always persevered, generation after generation, carrying the torch. Haven't you made it this far precisely because you were never truly alone? With a gentle smile, she lifts her head to gaze at the vast azure sky above. Those who believe in you, those who follow you, their light shines here too. Listen, the wind is rising. Air currents propel the fighter jet like invisible giant hands as it dives through the red mist. The blocker mounted beside the dashboard generates a transparent barrier that perfectly encases the entire aircraft, slicing through the dense fog like a blade to carve a path forward. Next to the blocker are several weathered sticky notes with messages like, "Fly on, you're the last bullet of our home, and go get 'em," likely left by former ground crew. Just a little faster. Wincing through the searing pain of her wounds, Yagenka pushes the control stick forward, fighting against the crushing G-force of the dive as she hurtles full speed toward the golden hope ahead. You sent the whole fill post to a friend on Discord and it also said, "Happy 10-year friendship anniversary." Oh, wow. What a wonderful message to celebrate your friendship with. Come on, you monster! The moment the tree trunk enters her firing range, Yagenka slams her thumb down on the trigger, pressing it with all her might. High-caliber cannons on both wings spit tongues of flame in unison, unleashing a torrential rain of incendiary rounds that instantly ignite the exposed outer shell of the massive tree. Almost simultaneously, a red flare launches from the ground, accompanied by a sharp crack, piercing directly into a crumbled structure at the base of the tree roots. Yagenka instantly figures out that it is almost certainly a signal from Nirvatia and the Grey Raven Commandant. She yanks the control stick and dives toward the flare's position, unleashing a ferocious barrage. The incendiary rounds trace a whip of light through the air, repeatedly lashing against the tree's weak points. Shell casings pour like rain, showering the earth alongside fragments of the crumbling, dying trunk. As the golden oak's outer shell fractures piece by piece, the golden glow at each impact point intensifies to blinding, magma-like brilliance, continuously spewing crystalline fragments. A massive section of golden bark tears away violently, revealing the even more scorching, bright orange internal structure beneath. It's collapsing! One more run and we'll make it through! Pull up, then push down. Yagenka guides her aircraft in a half-circle loop, positioning for one final dive to completely destroy the area marked by the flare. Everything's on fire because Yagenka has cannons on her plane. Die! In the next instant, the oak's gnarled branches suddenly burst apart, howling through the air like tentacles as they lash toward the aircraft. Ah! Her evasive maneuvers barely begin before a screech of torn metal fills the cockpit. Her head slams hard against the canopy. The entire jet lurches to the lower left, rolling like it's been struck by a giant hammer. The overheat warning light for the left engine flashes as the hydraulic pressure gauge plummets into the red zone. In that moment, like a racehorse with severed tendons, the jet's responses become sluggish and powerless. As she spins, Yagenka catches a glimpse of debris, piercing the base of the wing, right where the ammunition compartment is located. Ew. On! Pull up! Yeah, we're burning down this tree with fire! Blood streams over Yagenka's left eye as she grits her teeth through the violent turbulence and pulls the control stick back with all her strength, barely maintaining the aircraft's balance. Suddenly, another deafening crack splits the air as massive roots launch skyward, tearing through the dense smoke and lunging toward the fighter jet. Yagenka's pupils constrict as icy dread seizes her heart. There's no escaping this time. Right then, an entirely different sound, one that is deep, oppressive, and howling, grows louder as it approaches, cutting through the battlefield's cacophony. Between the descending giant branch and her aircraft, a massive fireball erupts with devastating force, billowing smoke and destructive shockwaves. Yeah, this tree is an exception. This tree is evil. Artillery shells raining from above strike the trunk dead center, shattering the golden branches into countless fragments with a deafening blast that propels Yagenka's aircraft away from danger. What the? Stunned, Yagenka looks back to trace the shell's trajectory across the battle-torn sky beyond the misty ruins to where it originated. The river bay that was the ancestral home of Carthaginians. Above the wide, raging river, Spartacus has broken free from its chains, advancing at full speed toward this land in its final battle. Across the rust-mottled deck, shouts and work shanties intertwine, rising and falling in rhythmic waves. Oh, they got like an actual, military march song. Boiler 1, power's up to 70%. Can you hold it together? This heat isn't enough to cook us all alive. Just keep her moving forward. We've got things under control down here. Worked by the heat waves, the voice through the speaking tube instantly ignites more suppressed cries across the vessel, like sparks thrown into hot oil. Engine room, status on the main shaft. It's still turning. We're cooling it down as best we can. The old girl's breathing hard, but she's holding it together just like us. Suddenly, a pipe near the stern lets out a piercing shriek as high-pressure steam erupts and instantly engulfs the entire section. Oh, there's a lot of things happening here. Auxiliary pipe on port side is blown. We've got burn victims. Seal it off. Use wet sacks. Soak them through. We need help here. Put your backs into it. Without a moment's hesitation, several figures shout and charge into the deadly steam. They press soaked blankets, canvas, and even their own bodies against a roaring breach, desperately fighting to contain it. The hissing of flesh against superheated metal is drowned out by the crew's defiant roars. The stench of burning skin fills the air, yet somehow these mortal bodies manage to suppress the screaming steam. The main steam valve! It's moving! It's giving way! With the crack of metal breaking, the massive wheel finally yields to the crew's flesh and blood. Pathway's clear! Power's flowing to the main cannons! Main battery crew, battle stations! Target remains unchanged. Bearing 270. Commander Lee's orders pound like war drums in every heart aboard. Copy! High explosive incendiary rounds in position. Ready to load. Breach chamber. Shell loaded successfully. Manual lock secured. Hydraulics in position. We'll handle the recoil from the broadside. Colossal cannons turn with thunderous clangs as Commander Lee grips the railing with clenched fist and listens to the roar of the steel beast awakening beneath him in a symphony orchestrated by mere mortals. A resonant clash of steel announces the main battery is locked in position. In this final moment, he raises his arm with a great resolve, channeling countless defiant gazes toward the massive tree looming beneath the heavens. Spartacus! Fire! The naval guns erupt with earth-shattering force, making the entire sky tremble and wail in anguish. Amid the earth-shattering tremors, the burning colossal branches collapse and wither like an avalanche, dragging down countless interconnected layers of bark that peel away and plummet with a deafening crash. Rotor blades cut through the mist as incendiary bombs howl through the air, raining down in relentless waves upon the marked position. The damaged fuselage groans in protest as Yagenka shouts, slamming the button and sending her aircraft into a steep dive. Layer upon layer of tree bark rots away under the barrage of bullets, with countless beams of light bursting through the cracks, blazing with blinding intensity. Almost there. Just a little more. In the next instant, the gunfire abruptly ceases, flames extinguished. Yagenka freezes in disbelief, instinctively checking her dashboard. She sees the ammunition counter stuck at 29, locked in place as if welded shut. No matter how many times she pulls the trigger, nothing moves. She glances out the window and her suspicion is confirmed. The earlier attack has damaged her wing, causing the ammunition feed to jam. The engine wails in desperation as howling wind rushes through the cracks, while Yagenka shouts and slams her fist against the dashboard, where every indicator blazes crimson. I also don't know any sea shanties off the top of my head. Except for like that one that I think got like famous on TikTok for a while. Was it the Wellerman? Suddenly, Yagenka notices the note pressed beneath her fist. Fly on! You're the last bullet of our home. You remember the one from Pirates of the Caribbean? I never saw those movies. Why am I always the one with rotten luck? She brushes a strand of hair from her face, smiling wryly. Gravity tears at every nerve in her body as her gaze pierces through layers of clouds toward the homeland she has never abandoned. In her daze, Yagenka seems to return to that starry night when her friends called for her and she stepped outside, tilting her head to gaze at the distant horizon. Before her eyes, countless tiny lights like fireflies trailed brilliant flames, rushing like moths to a flame toward the fallen stars with unwavering resolve. Only in this moment does she suddenly recall that on some distant summer night, she too has once reached out to touch that boundless river of stars. Daddy! Higher! Lift me higher! Oh my, Daddy's already on his tippy toes. Still can't reach them? The stars are too far away. I can't catch them. Looks like Daddy isn't tall enough either. Maybe you can go pick the stars by yourself when you grow up. Stars! I want to be a pirate just like you, and I'll catch a whole basket full of stars to keep at home, to put on Mommy's head, and to share with all the other kids. But will all the stars have run away when I grow up? They won't run away, Yagenka. Mommy and Daddy have seen it with our own eyes. Through wind and rain, through winter's chill and summer's heat. Whenever you look up, the stars will be there. So will Mommy and Daddy. Hey! Then I need to grow up super fast so I can pick the stars. Together with you both. Yagenka murmurs to herself. Years of painful youth has almost made her forget that she once made such a promise while gazing at the very same sky. She has always resisted what her heart desires most. Back then, it was a warm embrace. Now, it is that home she both loves and hates. Wounds never lie. After such a long, painful journey, she finally strips away all pretenses before the mirror and confronts the bleeding wound in her heart. You two truly were the worst parents in the world. But I loved watching you pick stars. 200 meters. 150 meters. Nirvatia, you've always liked to play the hero all by yourself. She touches the bracelet on her wrist. This time, it's my turn. 100 meters. 70 meters. With her last ounce of strength, she tames the rocking fuselage, aiming the nose toward the nearly destroyed trunk. Watch! Whatever you could accomplish, I can do just as well! I can do even better than you ever did! She shoves the control stick forward, sending the fighter jet straight through into the smoke and into the collapsing inferno. Wait, didn't we already do 100 meters, 70 meters? Listen up, punishing virus, monsters! Yagenka nearly snaps the control stick as she fixes her wide eyes on the signal flare's flame and begins to scream. This is the planet you've ravaged! These are the people you've tried to exterminate, but could never wipe out! And this is our last bullet! The cold wind whistles dully in her ears as thick smoke and the scent of blood nearly blind her, leaving only darkness in her vision. Gravity vanishes. In this seemingly eternal, yet infinitely brief moment that is beyond her control, time turns thick and sluggish. Yagenka falls with her head tilted back, facing a sky so deep and dark it resembles the long, lonesome starry night. This is the end. In her final moments, an overwhelming sense of attachment floods her heart as countless faces flash before her eyes. But they bring neither worry nor sorrow. Instead, warmth ripples gently through her heart. Goodbye. She smiles with joy and pride as she slowly closes her eyes. Suddenly, a dull impact strikes her back, with a force far gentler than expected. Nothing like the devastating crash she has anticipated. A powerful force begins to gather from all directions, pressing against her back, gradually lifting what should have been her shattered body. Oh! They said that with a lot of focus, Margaret could generate, the magnetic force field that she generated could slow the descent of, things. Is this Margaret? What is this? She looks down. Countless transparent, luminescent hands layer upon one another, forming a spiraling stairway that stops her descent. Some are strong and powerful, covered in scars. Others are coated in ash, silent, or slender yet resolute. They belong to countless workers, farmers, soldiers. They come from countless souls that once lived brilliantly, from all who sacrificed themselves to save others. Stand up and carry our story into tomorrow. Your fight isn't over yet. We'll support you. Onward! Onward! In her final moments, the red mist gradually disperses as countless golden arms converge from within. They seem to take on a life of their own, continuously lifting Yagenka's fallen body, defying death itself. The noble souls resting here have reached across countless dimensions of time and space, raising their hands one final time, hold up the sky for their children. Even as they shatter and fade, they stand unwavering, manifesting from their lingering attachments and sacrificing themselves to snatch the starlight of life from death's very grasp. Even if history repeats a million times, they would make the same choice again, marching against the tide of this era's suffering a million times over, for they have once witnessed that radiant golden age with their own eyes. They hold fast to the belief that even though today's world lies in ruins, they can triumph over time and rebuild that ideal, miraculous world, as long as a single breath of life remains. It is precisely because they cherish life and understand its greatness that they willingly sacrifice their own lives and happiness for the hope and well-being of others. And they, the countless, innumerable they throughout history, are simply ordinary people who purely and earnestly loved life. Under the ancient, desolate river of stars, no matter how painful and long the night, there will always be flames determined to crash against the darkness, igniting miracles. Now the spark has been passed on. It's time for the children to ignite new flames. Yagenka! A familiar voice calls out beside her ear. Yagenka suddenly snaps back to reality, instinctively reaching toward the source of the sound. Someone has caught her falling body. You've done well, Yagenka. Yagenka looks up. At the edge of the pit, you firmly grip her arms. Luke, what are you doing here? I couldn't destroy this tree on my own. Someone guided me here to help you. Someone? A familiar, smiling face flickers briefly beside you, before retreating into the swirling mist, slowly dissipating. Luke. Yagenka. Go on ahead. We'll take care of things here. Nirvatia. She needs your help. Yeah! Yagenka survived! And now, we're finally at the boss fight. And as you can see, if you didn't know, here's the boss. Echoes of a cherished wish. Guided by countless hopes, she keeps moving forward. Explosions erupt from all directions, unleashing deafening waves of sound that reverberate through the confined space with a metallic ring. How many chapters until this is done? I think this was 21. There are 23. So 3 more. But I think this is probably going to be the last one with any gameplay. This is the boss fight. Excruciating pain suddenly explodes in her chest as an old, bone-deep affliction rampages through her body like a storm, tearing through her limbs and searing every inch of her skin. Nirvatia has already given the last dose of her tranquilizer away, leaving her with no strength to fight against the agony branded into her soul. Okay, good night, Neil. Sleep well. Keep running. The twisted branches of the golden oak collapse and burn amidst the thunderous noise. Nirvatia staggers forward, biting her lip as she trembles and presses on. Ahead, flickering light illuminates the jagged outlines of ruins. It is the source of the explosions, and the direction where Margaret and you are located. You finish up a problem project tomorrow, so you need it. Okay, good luck. I hope you'll be able to deal with it, and then it'll just not be a problem anymore. Without the protection of the blocker, the red mist mercilessly ravages Nirvatia, pulling at her disoriented thoughts and steadily infiltrating her mind. From today onward, you're one of us, Nirvatia. Muffled syllables reach her, as if transmitted through thick, flowing water. Whose voice was it? There's no time to discern. We'll be friends from now on, okay? This one is clearer. Was that her own voice? Did it come from some distant, dust-shrouded afternoon long ago? The thick mist coils around her like a living creature with a cold, vicious... Or is that viscous? Yeah, no, that's viscous. And skin-crawling sensation. It seeps through her torn clothing, penetrating her skin and infusing her vital fluid. Hi, Wesley! How are you? I hope you're having a good day today! Hello! We're at the boss fight of this chapter. I'm ready. Despite her fragmenting mind, she presses forward with unwavering resolve, determined to continue onward. Because she knows. Hello? Hello? Are we back? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? You hear me, oh Twitch? I think I disconnected for a minute. Can anybody hear me? Are we good? Yes, I survived. I'm alive. Okay, hopefully you didn't miss too much. Nirvatia is still just trying to move forward through the red mist. It's hard. But yeah, once we're through this scene, we'll get to the boss fight. I'm excited. The boss fights in this game are so fun. Within her field of vision, countless blurred figures sway in the crimson mist. Some are familiar and comforting. Some are grotesque and twisted, while others merely watch in silence. A cacophony of voices collide. The ghosts from her past emerge with present phantoms, tearing at her mind. She can't distinguish between the red mist's poison and the memories resurfacing from the depths of her mind. But she knows her direction. What determines a person's worth has never been about what you can achieve, but rather what you're willing to sacrifice for a righteous cause. I'm going back. I'm going back. For a better tomorrow! All these voices and apparitions have formed the path she now walks upon. She is both pursued by these voices and encouraged by them as she presses forward. It has been this way since the beginning, and remains so even now. Our story won't end here. This is the Commandant's sprite artwork, if you didn't know. She is near. The vibrations of explosions travel more distinctly from ahead. Waves of scorching air laced with the smell of gunpowder are slightly diluting the bloody stench of the red mist. Luke. She swallows down the bloody foam rising in her throat and gathers her scattered strength one last time as she pushes toward that intersection of light and fire and the person waiting for her. She stumbles onward. Oh, and that's the transition.
Someone needs to go back. Our children deserve a better tomorrow. I'm going back. I'm going back.
I'm going back.
Nirvatia.
Margaret? How? But the explosion. I thought you...
Wait, who was that?
Welcome home, Nirvatia.
You're getting sweet. Be gone. Think. Submit to your end. The fallen shall rise no more. Shall we begin? No. Care to try again?
Needs more nourishment.
Not good enough. No. Care to try again? You can't leave now. No. Care to try again? A part Not good enough. A perfect finale. Submit to your end. No. Care to try again? This might hurt. The fallen shall rise no more. Not good enough. No. Care to try again? Submit to your end. Crown. No. You can't leave now. A perfect finale.
Oh wait, I wonder if I could have parried that.
No. Care to try again? Sink into oblivion. This might hurt. The fallen shall rise no more.
Oh yeah, I can.
Not good enough.
Well, I could parry if I
A perfect
timed it
finale.
correctly. Oh, what's this?
You hid our existence. Twisted our sacrifice.
Indefensible! Unforgivable! Give us back our names!
Oh,
Lives and cherished dreams will bloom forever in the sea of flowers.
A perfect finale. I present to you a sweet death. Submit to your end. Submit,
What?
then perish.
oh, I think she tried to grab me, but I was invincible right
Care to
then.
Try again. You can't leave now. A perfect finale. Not good enough. Kneel. Sink into oblivion. This might hurt. The fallen shall rise no more. No. Care to try again?
Must you try everything again?
No. Not good enough. Shall we begin? No. Care to try again?
Ah, she's doing it again! She keeps choosing the wrong time.
No. Care to try again? I proclaim your total annihilation.
Can't grab me when I'm kind of not there.
A perfect finale. No. Care to try again? No. Care to try again?
Ah! Oh, now she's got me.
Not good enough. Kneel. Submit to your end.
Oh!
No. Care to try again? The fallen shall rise no more. No. Care to try again? A perfect finale. No. Not good enough. No. Care to try again? Missed that one. I proclaim your total annihilation.
I carry traces of everyone's existence with me. I will not lose!
A perfect finale.
Girl, I don't know what's going on with you, but you are not fighting the right person.
Sink into oblivion. Submit to your end. This might hurt. The fallen shall rise no more. A perfect finale. No.
Ow!
Not good enough. Missed that one. I present to you a sweet death.
Go for that ultimate finish, why don't we?
Good enough. You can't leave now.
Stay away. Run. Don't! No! Nirvatia.
Margaret!
Nirvatia.
Ooh.
You will burn! You filth! Give her to me! Hand her over!
Diva down!
I'm back. Margaret.
Is she okay though? Is she okay though? Embers drift down like a gentle golden rain. In the deathly quiet ruins, they finally embrace after overcoming countless perils, nestled in each other's arms. Nirvatia holds the emaciated body tightly in her arms, trembling from the effort, as if the miracle she has recovered might vanish before her eyes if she relaxes her grip even slightly. Margaret's cold fingers dig deep into the fabric on her back. She can hear the soft, fragile whimpers that have been suppressed for countless years. Nirvatia? Margaret's face is buried against her shoulder, and her voice hoarse and broken as she struggles to form words like an injured fledgling. She cautiously looks up as light pours down through the shattered dome above, gently caressing her dirt-streaked face. Is it really? Is it really you? She reaches out, her fingertips trembling as they gently brush against her friend's cheek, like a touching, beautiful dream that may shatter at any moment. It's me. I'm right here. Nirvatia takes Margaret's cold hand and presses it against her own face. Equally cold, but undeniably real. I've come back. And Yagenka's back too. Everyone from Karthaki is still fighting. To save this city. To save you. Everyone has returned. Margaret's lips tug slightly upward at the corners as her pale cheek nuzzles against Nirvatia's palm. Strangely, feels something draining her body heat, prompting her to tighten her embrace, yearning even more for the warmth of her friend. Nirvatia's hands. So warm, she murmurs, closing her eyes and pressing deeper into the embrace. I've missed you so much. Missed all of you so much. A spine-chilling vibration emanates from deep within Margaret's frail chest. It is not a heartbeat, rather something tough, violently thrashing inside her. Margaret's entire body shakes, her mouth twisting in agony as she clutches her chest desperately, groaning in pain. No! 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 Margaret? A bud-like radiance suddenly pierces through Margaret's body, stabbing into Nirvatia's eyes. A blood-curdling scream erupts from her throat, violently tearing through the air. Margaret! Margaret's hand suddenly tightens, clamping around Nirvatia's throat like a vice, and cutting her cry short. Gray wings flap, wind howls, and Margaret lunges forward with Nirvatia in her grip, smashing through broken tree trunks as the ground trembles and rocks come crashing down. Margaret, it's me. Intruder. A twisted, murderous intent once again contorts Margaret's face. The golden seedling in her chest is visibly pulsing. As it flickers with light, a rumbling echo rises from deep beneath the ground. More crimson mist, thick as long-suppressed blood, violently erupts from the fissures, instantly flooding the vast, silent chamber. The remnants of the golden oak, nearly having faded to black, flicker back to life. Weak yet stubborn golden light emanates from them as countless tiny vines contort within the mist, crackling with bone-chilling sounds. Ugh! The punishing virus swirls like thorns, creeping up from beneath Nirvatia's feet. With a sharp cracking sound, she feels a searing pain spread through her chest. Looking down, she sees the light blue dock on her chest, used for receiving medication, is now covered in cracks, its surface deteriorating under the sudden surge of punishing virus infection. I won't let you hurt them. Margaret's pupils contract and tremble, reflecting Nirvatia's anguished face. Through her distorted vision, countless crimson tendrils cover Nirvatia's cheeks, transforming her into a terrifying intruder. Wake up. Go away. Go away. Vines suddenly surge from the darkness, attaching themselves to Margaret's back and strengthening her. Nirvatia struggles desperately, but at the edge of her blurred vision, she catches sight of two hazy figures rushing toward her. In the next instant, bladed vines cleave through the air, lunging straight for Nirvatia. Margaret! Bullets fly through the air, instantly cutting through the chaos and shattering the vines. Intruders! Margaret roars in fury as the mist within the ruins surges violently once more. Thorns shoot up from the ground fissures, piercing straight through your arm. Stop! Meanwhile, Yagenka smashes through the oncoming branches. Even as thorns pierce her body and corrode her skin, she presses forward relentlessly toward the out-of-control Margaret. She reaches out her arm, the beaded bracelet on her wrist gleaming brilliantly. At that almost the same moment, by coincidence, or perhaps by fate, the dock on Nirvatia's chest shatters with a crack, releasing a purple pearl that has been buried deep in her heart for years. One yellow, one purple, reflected in the center of Margaret's chaotic vision, they spiral and dance, colliding to create a dazzling radiance in the darkness. Just as the red mist is about to flare up, countless voices from the past flow like rivulets, screaming steadily and gradually merging into their minds. In this moment, time seems to be infinitely frozen, stretching out endlessly. We got our little badge here for getting all the achievements. A better tomorrow. If you don't forget to look back, we'll always see each other again. Okay, so we've got 2 scenes left. Oh, and the tree's gone. The Master and Margaret. If this place is shrouded in darkness, let me become the first ray of light. Margaret. At the moment of her birth, the world calls to her with that name. Sunlight pierces through the darkness, falling on her face and stinging her eyes slightly. The girl blinks hazily, bewildered as she stumbles into this unfamiliar world. I'm sorry. If only Mama could have run faster. The woman collapses onto the girl, whispering softly and embracing her tightly. Her arms clutch with such force, as if terrified that something precious would slip away from her grasp. Who is she? The girl wonders. Something warm continues to flow and fall onto her face. The setting sun casts a dim glow between broken walls and collapsed pillars. Amid the rubble and fallen bricks, a steel rebar has pierced the woman's side, running straight through her body and gleaming with blood. Blood falls like the rain, pattering down in steady drops. If only Mama could have run faster. So she is Mama? Couldn't have been separated. Margaret. Is that my name? Mama? Her foggy mind aches. Unfamiliar with that word, opens her mouth slightly and asks tentatively. I searched the whole world, but still couldn't find you. The woman's voice trembles with frailty as she continues speaking. Mama, I'm right here. The woman hesitates for a moment, and a faint smile appears on her face. She slowly tightens her embrace. My sweet child. She gently strokes the girl's long hair. When you leave these ruins, you'll find a vast and desolate world. A place where every day is filled with goodbyes and sorrows. You'll witness poverty, hunger, war. They'll make you feel sad and lost, tearing you apart again and again until you're exhausted, gradually ceasing to care about anything beyond yourself. You'll also meet all sorts of people with sharp edges who will hate you, hurt you, and betray you for no reason. They will slowly wear away your innocence, making you lose faith in others and forget your childhood dreams. I'm okay today, Wesley. How are you? I hope you're having a good day too. I've been pretty tired today though. I didn't get to sleep well last night. I mentioned this earlier, and it's a little silly, but while I was trying to fall asleep, I got myself riled up about AI music. Oh. And then I was just, I was just angry in bed. The world waiting for you is cruel. But even so, Mama selfishly hopes you'll never lose faith in it. You are doing well? Nice, I'm glad to hear it. Because you were born with Mama's love, after all. A tear slides from the corner of her eye, mingling with blood as it ripples across the girl's face. Mama has experienced and given unconditional love. That's why I've never believed the world was meant to be like this. Can stop the killing. Can make flowers bloom across this barren world. Because what brings life into this world is never prejudice or hatred, but the selfless love from another soul. The mother's words are barely a whisper, yet they are filled with warmth and comfort, giving the girl immense strength. Love this world bravely, even though it's a wasteland. Love others bravely, even when they build walls around their hearts. Be that bravest person who believes that the world will eventually bloom with flowers. Mama loves you, Margaret. The woman closes her eyes, her head slowly coming to rest on the girl's shoulder. Mama? She offers her final, selfless love to the world, lifting the cold, suffocating ruins to send the life beneath her toward a new day. Mommy. The heavy, distant memories weigh upon her. Margaret suddenly feels a sharp pain between her eyebrows. Thoughts spanning across time and space converge, rapidly filling the empty spaces in her mind. This is the Kartaki rescue team. We've entered the corrupted combat zone and found a survivor. Hurry! Everyone lend a hand! She sees multiple pairs of hands reach toward her as they break away in the darkness piece by piece, allowing golden sunlight to spill across the earth. The kid is construct? There's no risk of blood loss. But how is she unharmed after being exposed to such high concentration of punishing virus? And her frame designation has been filed off. We were still too late. We lost so many of our comrades, and there's not a single survivor here. No, at least we've saved one. He smiles wearily as he slowly lifts the girl from the ruins. Even if it's just one, our efforts and sacrifices won't be in vain. She sees how the people of Kartaki once took her in with selfless kindness. Inside you is an enigmatic seedling that can resist the punishing virus and calm those around you. But it's also consuming your mind, causing your memory modules to deteriorate. At your request, we'll disguise you as an ordinary human student, so you can live normally alongside other children. We'll do everything in our power to suppress the seedling. In the meantime, don't be afraid of the researchers here. As a scientist myself, I promise you that the Kartaki Research Institute will never harm you. Oh, so how did they get from "we'll suppress the seedling, we'll never harm you" to using her to power the whole city? The people of Kartaki witnessed the twilight of the Golden Age. We believe that technologies which do not respect life do not deserve our respect. She sees how the people of Karthiki once respected her with selfless kindness. The first lesson she has learned since she came into this world is one of selfless love and sacrifice. And so, she has returned that selfless love to the world. This is a gift for you, Yakinka. I made it myself. We'll be friends from now on, okay? I look forward to our friendship, Nirvatia. Theoretically, replacing the seedling's vessel shouldn't be difficult. It's an extremely adaptable component that rapidly attaches to the mind to maintain its operation once connected to a construct's frame. But the seedling has been parasitically attached to your body for too long, and we don't know its origin. Removing it could potentially kill you. Yes, I understand. Are you sure about this, Margaret? If it can help more people, I'm willing to try. She looks up. Compared to disappearing, I'm more afraid of forgetting my family. Family. Suddenly, two familiar colors flash in the darkness, illuminating Margaret's clouded vision. Margaret, it's me. Margaret! Two figures traverse countless years and cut through the churning mists of death, slowly converging and taking shape in the distant horizon of the world. Nirvatia? Yakinka? They must have endured countless trials and tribulations to return here, to stand before her now. The great tree has fallen, yet the red mist remains. Margaret dimly realizes that throughout the long years, the punishing virus has planted seeds of chaos within her frame. It isn't the red mist binding her. She is the one controlling the mist. Her frame has become the real source of this catastrophe. Just now, the red mist has paused at the moment before eruption. Margaret understands that if she continues to lose control, she will kill the friends who have fought so hard to reunite with her. She can only imagine the enormous sacrifices her family must have made to bring about this reunion. She cannot harm them, nor can she let everyone else's efforts be in vain. She has to do something, whatever the cost. If this place is shrouded in darkness, let me become the first ray of light. She grits her teeth and shakily rises to her feet, reaching toward the light. Are you really going to do this, Golden Oak? It's John Doe, that guy who sucks. The malevolent question resounds from behind, causing Margaret to falter momentarily and stop in her tracks. Oh my god, RP update. Turns out the guy didn't know what to do with his feeling of attractiveness toward Alan. Oh no, he was running from his feelings. And now what? Is he facing them? In this iron prison infused with the red mist, each second feels like 1,000 steel blades carving into flesh. Yet you've endured this torment for over 2 decades, sustained only by that seedling. This undying shell is your eternal prison. It was I who awakened you, gave you rebirth, made you master of this dreamscape, so that you no longer have to suffer, but be united with all who have passed. Eliminate the intruders. Defend their dignity. Why struggle so desperately to wake up? Was the dream not pleasant enough? I have never feared pain. This dream was flawed from the very beginning. Margaret fights against her body's trembling and clutches her wounded shoulder, her gaze fixed unwaveringly onto the flickering light in the distance. I will never allow you to use my body to harm my friends and family. After all these years, the punishing virus has seeped into every inch of your being. Even if you reclaim your mind, it won't last long. How long can the seedling buy you? 1 second? 2? You can do nothing but watch as your friends are consumed by agony in the next moment, dying in helpless despair. Think of all the suffering you've endured. 2 decades of torment, all because of one childish, naive choice. Was any of it worth it? All that awaits you ahead is a cruel world. No one will care about your name, and no one will concern themselves with your suffering. Even so, you still choose to wake up. That's not why I'm choosing to sacrifice myself, she shouts, dispelling the hollow static around her. Even if this catastrophe plays out 1,000,000 times over, my answer will never change. She raises her head and continues to move forward. Because Karthiki and everyone else have loved me so selflessly. She trudges through the murky darkness as crimson vines coil around her limbs like venomous serpents, driving their barbs into her skin and tearing at her flesh, trying to stop her from reclaiming herself. Because Nirvatia and Yagenka are still waiting for me tomorrow. Though covered in wounds and her flesh torn and bleeding, the girl who has grown surrounded by love continues to push forward with all her might, leaving the long slumber behind her as she cries out. I choose to believe that my tiny life will become a small seedling, take root, and sprout, leaving behind my mark. She tramples through the thorns and breaks free from the chains, her golden radiance cutting through the thick fog. I choose to believe. In a moment of blinding brilliance, she raises her arm and plunges it into her own burning chest. That a beautiful, brilliant tomorrow will surely bloom with miracles and flowers. Radiant light pierces the long night, carried by hot, rushing blood, as Seedling emerges from its cocoon. Hi, Peach! How are you? I hope you're doing well. We're at the end of the chapter. Nirvatia. Yagenka. Bathed in the warm glow of sunlight, Margaret uses her power one last time. The world silently freezes in place, time itself seemingly suspended in this moment, just as she has once done at the sight of an explosion to protect Nirvatia and her instructor. To protect everyone. This is the only way I can think of. I'm sorry. I guess I've gone and made decisions on my own again. She gazes at her motionless friends, forcing herself to smile. Yagenka, Nirvatia, both grown so tall. You must have been eating well. I'm so glad. I'm so happy I get to see you both again. chokes up slightly, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. Don't be angry. And please don't be sad. Just like everyone from Karthaki, I'm only staying behind in the past for a little while. If you don't forget to look back, we'll always see each other again. As the red mist dissipates, the color in Margaret's eyes gradually fades away. I have so many things I still want to tell you. So many stories I want to hear from you. But I'm feeling a bit tired. I think I need to rest for a little while. Oh no, her eyes. Thank you for coming into my life. Like a miracle. Eva down. Thank you. A gentle breeze stirs as sparks drift like snowfall. Only a brief moment has passed. It has stretched on like an eternity. As time begins to flow once more, Margaret's final words stream into their minds like a gentle rivulet. All their joy, sorrow, and memories together pour out in that single moment. Margaret! They reach out, lunging forward almost instinctively to support their friend's body. But all that greets them is a rigid, cold corpse. No. No. Tourniquet. We need a tourniquet. Yugenka frantically rummages through her pockets, searching desperately for anything useful. But all her medical supplies have been depleted in the earlier battles. Margaret! Margaret! She can't help but cry out, pressing both her hands against the wound in Margaret's chest, while hot tears stream down her face, dripping onto her blood-soaked palms. Yeah, pour one out for Margaret. She was a real one. Diva down. Yugenka. I'm afraid Margaret has served her last cunt. Another hand reaches out, gently resting on top of hers. Tears slide down her cheeks as she remains silent, slowly shaking her head. No! We only just found each other again! How could this? Just now, you saw them too, didn't you? You heard her voice. This reunion of the Dominic Patrol. Margaret. She wouldn't want to see us like this. Right, Margaret? With trembling hands, she reaches out to gently caress the cold cheek. Just like what she did at the end. Nirvatia's throat tightens as she sniffles, her lips quivering as she faces Yugenka with tears in her eyes. As their emotions finally overflow, Yugenka opens her arms and pulls Nirvatia into a tight embrace. They weep together. The clouds finally part, and brilliant sun rays bathe their hug, casting long shadows across the ground. After countless tribulations, the three girls have finally reunited. Throughout these long years, they have loved and fought with all their might. Looking back on their lives, something seems to have changed, yet everything remains the same. No matter the final outcome, every soul in Karthiki has never ceased their struggle before reaching the bitter end. Now, they have pushed back the darkness with their own hands. The mist has cleared. Amid deafening roars, the golden oak collapses like an avalanche. Standing nearby, you survey the scattered embers in the sky, instinctively sensing something is amiss. We still have an ascendant. One little loose thread out here. Among the crumbling giant timbers, a gleam of green light flashes and vanishes in an instant. A brilliant trail of light suddenly shoots forth, rushing toward you with a deafening, screeching roar. What did I just say? You dive into a combat roll, instantly raising your weapon and firing toward the source of the storm. Always ruining my plans, aren't you, Luke? His heavy armor clashes to the ground with a metallic clang, picking up debris and dust. The Ascendant ignores you, instead raising his arm toward Nirvatia. Light and flame erupts as crimson energy pulses through the cracks in his armor. Oh, oops. Wrong button. Wrong button. Look out! Flames surge forth as John Doe, riding the punishing virus, violently crashes into the smoke and dust. Heedling? His powerful fist slams into the ground. Only then does he realize the three girls have vanished without a trace, leaving nothing behind. Can you stand? Yeah, I'm fine. The two of them dodge to safety just in time before gently laying Margaret's body down on the ground. A series of explosions rings out as a hail of bullets whistles through the air, all pouring into the Ascendant's armor, tearing open countless fatal fissures. Fighting through excruciating pain, you rush forward, positioning yourself between the Ascendant and Nirvatia. It's after the seedling! Nirvatia suddenly looks at Margaret, who still clutches the golden sapling tightly in her hand. But at the same time, the seedling's radiance is visibly fading with each passing moment. It grows inside me, feeding on my mind and destroying my memory modules. That's why I can't recognize you or Yakinka. Oh, Nirvatia's gonna put it in herself. She remembers Margaret telling her that the seedling feeds on a construct's mind. But what if it has been removed from it? It's withering. This thing is what hurt Margaret. Destroy it! Fueled by rage, Yagenka picks up the seedling and raises it high. But what if I can pass my power on to others? What if this tiny sapling that can resist the punishing virus can help those who are stronger than me? The seedling flickers with a golden light in the air. In that moment, Nirvatia glimpses many possibilities. The times it has saved her, its mysterious origins, and how it can be a crucial weapon against the punishing virus. The only price it demands from the world is a vessel destined for destruction. But what if there is already a vessel here? broken and riddled with wounds. She murmurs. It's an extremely adaptable component that rapidly attaches to the mind to maintain its operation once connected to a construct's frame. What if it can grow into a towering tree and protect those resilient souls living in the shadows? What if it can protect you? Suddenly, she grabs Yagenka's arm. Nirvatia? This is a spark passed down to us from Margaret. This world still needs its light to shelter those nameless lives tumbling through the shadows. Smiling, she slowly moves the seedling and points it like a blade toward her own chest. Have you lost your mind? Do you know what you're doing? The Ascendant frantically abandons all defenses, desperately charging past you and lunging straight toward Nirvatia in the distance. Give me the seedling! If someone must sacrifice themselves to carry this flame and pierce the darkness, I will be the one to bear that weight. With resolute force, she drives her hands downward, plunging the seedling deep into her chest. Time stands still for a moment. Then, a deafening torrent of tangled information swirls through her, washing away the shadows clouding her mind and gradually filling the void of her forgotten past. Immense pain and fulfillment simultaneously grips her consciousness. Countless cycles of death and rebirth threaten to destroy her, but the unwavering mind beacon at the other end of her mind pulls her back at each time. Nirvatia! She looks up, gazing at the fiery rain drifting across the sky. Searing pain pulses through her chest and tears at her body, yet the warmth beside her grows more intense, remaining steadfast at her side. Nirvatia! Nirvatia knows that beyond the pain, someone is waiting for her. My, how you've grown. Margaret. Nirvatia snaps back to consciousness, tightly gripping her massive scythe. With a fierce battle cry, she channels the overwhelming force and swings at the approaching Ascendant. Ugh! Her blade's edge flashes with a cold gleam, cutting through the air as it shatters the Ascendant's raised arms. The impact sent its body flying backward, pinning him against the stone wall and carving a meters-long fissure into the rock. Stop her! At all costs! The Ascendant howls as scattered metal fragments spark with electricity, rising into the air and reassembling into countless flying blades that shoot toward the advancing Nirvatia. Not a chance! We'll handle them. Yagenka and you open fire simultaneously, unleashing a hail of bullets from both sides that form an interwoven wall of flames, deflecting the metal blades heading for Nirvatia. Leaving a trail of thunderous echoes behind her, Nirvatia leaps into the air, swinging her scythe to summon a shower of sparks as she dives toward the Ascendant. A deafening crash thunders down, accompanied by burning debris as her blade cleaves through her enemy from above. As his form begins to disintegrate, he looks up and lets out an unsettling grin. Okay, so was that another one of his doubles, or? This is the last stage. A better tomorrow. And when the sun rises, a better tomorrow will surely follow. You've still got a few loose ends to tie up, but I'm wondering if they're gonna tie those up here or later. The moment the Ascendant falls, a dull boom suddenly resonates from below, and the entire research institute begins to violently shake. Yeah, title drop! This place is coming down! golden oak has collapsed, and this building won't hold. We need to get out now. The ground heaved violently before splitting with a thunderous crack and opening up a bottomless chasm. Pipes burst throughout the facility, spewing years of accumulated waste like blood flowing from the dying structure. This way! We can climb through the rubble! Wait, Margaret. Nirvatia comes to her senses and looks back, searching for her fallen friend's body. Amid the collapsing building, she sees a spectral figure suddenly dart out from the dust cloud and snatches up Margaret's body. Even though the seedling is gone, this vessel is still infused with the punishing virus. It's still an invaluable incubator. The corrupted that you have previously disabled slowly straightens up, speaking with John Doe's voice as he stands triumphantly at the edge of the widening chasm. He raises his arm high, firing a metal chain that hooks onto the rebars in the ceiling. You may have won this brief and pitiful victory, but I have secured a future for the Master. Amid the thunderous collapse, the Ascendant's voice grows shriller and more fanatical. Put her down! You monster! Shit! You just wouldn't stay dead, would you? Seeing the fissures rapidly spreading beneath her feet, Yagenka pulls the trigger repeatedly. In an instant, metal debris from across the ground suddenly rises, forming an iron wall that blocks the incoming bullets. When she awakens on a new branch. The ground on the other side of the chasm suddenly collapses. In a split second before falling, he yanks on the chain, sending his small broken body soaring upward toward the surface. We will meet again, Luke. Margaret! Malevolent echoes linger amidst the rumbling as Nirvatia grips her weapon tightly and rushes forward, ignoring the crumbling ground beneath her feet. Careful, Nirvatia! You rush after her despite your injuries, grabbing Nirvatia firmly by the arm. Nirvatia snaps back to reality, staring down at the fissure beneath her feet. She has nearly plummeted into the bottomless abyss below. Luke. We've done it once. We can do it again. Yagenka reaches out, placing her hand over yours, and together you pull Nirvatia back from the edge of the precipice. If we keep smashing that monster to pieces, we'll eventually catch its true form. Let's get out of here as quickly as possible. Yeah. As the three of you support each other up the crumbling stairway, a sudden commotion of voices erupts from above. I found them! They're down here! Over here! We need help! As the last debris is lost amid the rumbling, Nirvatia and the rest of you manage to escape with the help of the Carthaginians, reaching the surface before the research facility completely collapses. Evening wind rushes against you, carrying dust and scorching heat. Helping each other, people stand and breathe heavily, their ears still ringing with the muffled sounds of the collapse and their pounding hearts. Through the brief dizziness and ringing ears, someone looks up first and mutters, "Look at the sky." The voice is soft, yet like a pebble dropped into a still lake. It causes everyone to involuntarily raise their heads. On the horizon, countless specks of light that used to be the great tree detach and rise upward, resembling a golden blizzard in reverse and drifting toward the blood-red sky. They dance and drift gracefully like a silent grand farewell. As if countless dormant souls are finally released, they return to the horizon, merging into the twilight. The detector! The punishing virus concentration is dropping fast! People cry out in astonishment, gazing at the mottled sky with bated breath. The thick crimson that has once devoured the daylight is now dissipating. Like a bruise finally cleansed, it slowly dissolves into the clear wind. The nightmare that has loomed over Karthiki for decades now shatters like countless burned-out stars, fragmenting into brilliant, melancholic flakes of snow across the sky. It's gone. The red mist is completely gone. We did it! Hope reflects on every face that is streaked with dirt and blood-tinged sweat. All their efforts, hardships, and loss have finally transcended the boundaries of time and space and become the radiance now shining above. A single snowflake silently falls into Nirvatia's palm. Feeling its faint warmth, she slowly closes her hand and presses it against her chest. Margaret. Yagenka closes her eyes and opens her arms, as if embracing the sky itself. Standing amidst the ruins, she breathes in Karthiki's rejuvenating breeze and the fragrance of the wildflowers growing across the land. Time passes silently. The sky where they once laughed together, remains crystal clear, while new sprouts quietly break through the barren soil. After enduring too many sacrifices and a bitter winter, Karthiki has finally emerged from darkness to welcome the dawn of rebirth. They wander through the vast landscape, their eyes searching every corner, hoping to find what they had lost. But what exactly have they lost? A childhood that should have been carefree and joyful? Or perhaps a proper cathartic goodbye? Time rushes by, but the land before them remains silent, never answering their questions. The answer isn't on the path ahead. Nirvatia! Yagenka! Both of them freeze in surprise and slowly turn around. Who dis? What? Huh? At the forefront of those nearly vanished phantoms stands Margaret. She wears the familiar school uniform they remember, her face bearing the warmest and most carefree smile from their memories, as if the 20 years of suffering have never happened. She smiles and waves her arm, just as she has when they first met and when they parted. As the gentle breeze blows, more familiar silhouettes slowly materialize behind her. Gregory, Alyosha, Jang. Countless familiar faces and souls they have never met. All of Karthiki's departed stand in the distance, smiling as they watch over those who remain. We promised each other. If you don't forget to look back, we'll always see each other again. You all. The crowd ahead turns back one by one, silently meeting the gaze of their family members, companions, and mentors. Karthiki's future burns bright and vigorous, while its past remains forever here, eternally young. It's our reunion, so don't look so serious. Are we supposed to say something together for this? Holding on to one another, the people gently smile. Let's say, you know, that. Now, together. Looking back, they finally realize that the answers for the future have always been etched into the path paved by those who sacrificed themselves. Together, they shout as one, declaring to this dim and cruel world, "For a better tomorrow!" For a better tomorrow. For the history of bygone glory and the future yet to come. In the next moment, the phantoms of the past scatter like mist, transforming into warm particles of light that encircle everyone like fireflies, gently merging with the daylight and quietly returning to the heavens. You were here all along. She gazes up at the golden sky, feeling the fierce pounding in her chest. Nirvatia suddenly remembers something she heard the day she met Margaret and Yagenka. Only the damaged souls can truly comprehend the meaning of redemption. My enemy was never the suffering I was born into, but my broken self. Golden threads sway in the wind, gently entwining Nirvatia's fingertips, bidding her a tender farewell. Thank you all. I've found a more peaceful path to follow now. Broken bones grow back stronger. Bleeding wounds form new flesh. Every moment of pain on this journey, purpose. Thank you for burning so brightly, for filling the broken, missing parts of me, for supporting me until today finally revealed this land's true past. Thank you all. Tears of acceptance slide down her smiling face, falling silently between heaven and earth. All thoughts and memories transform into specks of starlight, illuminating the road ahead. Goodbye. Setting off now. Back to Babylonia. So, the Karthiki Research Institute collapsed as the Golden Oak dissipated, and the Ascendant John Doe seized the chance to escape in the chaos, while your team managed to establish contact with the outside world. That's correct. The young inspector gently places the documents on the table, presses her clasped hands to her lips, and stares directly at you. She remains silent, as if savoring the lengthy tale she has just heard. You recovered the original materials from the Karthiki Research Institute. There was no information about the Golden Oak among them. Why did it appear directly above reactor number 4? I'm only here to answer questions about the operation. For technical matters, you should consult the Science Council. I did. She's waiting right outside. Lesty shrugs lazily, casting a knowing glance toward the door. Your answers are almost identical. What began as a routine mission coincidentally stirred up all the witnesses at the Great Actolic Explosion from the post-pandemic age. Thanks to you all, the whole world now knows what really happened in Karthiki back then. The executive court is completely overwhelmed now, like a fleeting train in the desert. Someone knocks on the door. Your scheduled meeting with the military is in 5 minutes, Little Raven. Wait, I'm almost finished. My senior always dumps the impossible My senior always dumps these impossible assignments on me. Getting back to these coincidences, there are a few more things I'm particularly concerned about. Her expression suddenly turned serious. What was the Ascendant John Doe's objective? What exactly motivated him to lure you all into the Karthiki radiation zone? And the construct Margaret you mentioned. How was she able to survive for so long in an environment with such high punishing virus concentration? Maybe she became an Ascendant on her own, kind of. Although I guess maybe that doesn't make sense. Still, we know cases of people being fully infected with the punishing virus and surviving. I'm afraid I don't know anything about that. Her answer seems to be exactly what she expected. She lets out a resigned sigh. Luke, can you assure the Control Court that every statement you've made today serves the interests of humanity and Babylonia? I assure you, everything I've said today serves the interests of humanity. Your car is here, Little Raven. I must be going. I mean, she's gonna catch that omission. How did it go? The control court gave you a hard time. Nothing I couldn't handle. She gives a composed smile. Now that the inquiry is over, I've decided how I'm going to reward you for your cooperation. You sure you want to discuss this here? You glance warily at each corner of the elevator. All the surveillance in here was installed with the Council's assistance, so don't worry. I'll make sure they very conveniently close their eyes for us. I'd like you to explain why you asked me to back up your lie first. Why hide the fact that seedling is stored in your body? It's simple. I don't trust the world government. Can't blame you. Really can't blame you. And your reasons? After the recent fall, Parliament suddenly approved my application to reopen the investigation on the Karthiki incident, after rejecting it constantly for more than 20 years. Meanwhile, the BCC urgently pumped massive funding, 16 previously frozen mind-related projects in the Research Division 1, declaring them all reactivated. It's obvious. These old men don't need the truth when they're panicking. They need something to silence criticism and boost morale. When a dying patient craves something desperately, it reveals what they've always lacked and feared the most. And what Babylonia feared, the mind technology that was forcibly discontinued during the post-pandemic age. Humanity's rudimentary understanding of the mind remains exactly where it was decades ago. I've heard whispers about that myself. Although we've recovered the mind research data from the Golden Age, the true cause of the Great Actolic Explosion remains a mystery because of the collapse that buried Reactor Number 4. Why did Reactor Number 4, powered by mind technology, ultimately become the source of the punishing virus outbreak in Karthiki? And what connection does the Actolic volcanic eruption have with this incident? It's a long road ahead. There are too many secrets still unknown. We need time to fully unearth each truth, down to its very roots. As for the seedling, its origin remains unknown. It may be connected to the explosion, but more crucially, it's a new weapon against the punishing virus. Its structure and function resemble Sephira from the Phylotree of Osea. He shares the critical details about the Phylotree of Osea with you, without reservation. The enemy still lurks in the shadows. Under these circumstances, the technology that safeguards our future must remain firmly in our own hands. That's the consensus between myself and the chief technician. Perhaps it will become our trump card at a crucial moment in the future, and I'll identify that exact moment to secure the greatest advantage for humanity. So, little Raven, you need to be prepared. Once we leave this room, we'll bear the weight of this truth together. I trust your judgment. Thank you for your trust, little Raven. She smiles knowingly. As for your reward, I've decided it'll be the Security Director's unconditional trust and assistance. Any time, any place. Say the word. How's that? Tempting enough for you, little Raven? Yes, of course. With a melodious chime, the elevator doors slowly open as the two of you finally arrive at the transit hall of the military security area. Damn it, Nirvatia! Help me out here! Citizen, stop right there! Submit to our inspection! These guys have been chasing me all over! Weren't diplomatic personnel supposed to be exempt from inspections? Ikyenka is on Babylonia? Well, it's a long story. In short, she's now a public representative from Karthiki, temporarily stationed on Babylonia to assist with the reopened investigation into the Great Actolek explosion. After several negotiations, the Oasis and Babylonia have reached a temporary agreement. The Rangers will work with government forces to hunt down the Ascendant John Doe. Once we've wrapped things up here, we'll track him down together and find Margaret. How's Commander Lee doing lately? He's coordinating recovery efforts in the radiation zone on the surface. The dark circles under his eyes have gotten even worse lately. The world government wanted to hold a commendation ceremony for him after the recent incident, but he declined. According to Yagenka, he sold several vintage cars he dug up from his family home to the WGAA to help rebuild schools in the satellite city. I think for him right now, no metal can outweigh the mud-caked earth beneath his feet, no matter how bright and shiny it is. I hope the people of Carthage are doing well. Just then, Nirvatia notices 3 familiar figures approaching behind you. She smiles and gives them a courteous nod. My team is here. It seems we both have people we need to find. Shall we talk more later then? Of course. See you later, little raven. You wave to each other and turn away, each walking toward those who await you. But before you can take more than a few steps, you both stop and look back, as if sharing the same thought. Nirvatia! Luke. You both speak at once. Our promise still stands, right? She smiles silently and places her hand over her heart. There, she keeps a secret you both have witnessed and buried together. You exchange smiles and turn away once more. Though you both know the road ahead is fraught with challenges, your steps remain resolute as you embark on paths weighted with truth. As she takes her first step, Nirvatia recalls the moment when Seedling pierced her chest. In that instant, she saw a familiar yet distant blood-red sky. It was the first and last memory she once lost.
Nirvatia, is this the child you had with that man?
The officer sat in the trench, wiping blood and grime from his face as he looked at his old friend, then at the purple-haired girl beside her. Her name is Margaret.
The medics told me everything. Congenital heart defects, mutism, Fabry disease. We removed the shrapnel, but with her constitution, she'll suffer from permanent physical and mental damage.
I know.
Katya, you should have built a happier family, had a healthy child, and lived out your days surrounded by blessings, watching her inherit your legacy, become someone exceptional. Instead, here you are, alone, constantly on the move, wasting your youth and energy on a burden.
Mommy? The girl nervously fidgeted with her fingers and lowered her head. Wait, so Nirvatia was originally named Margaret.
Katya, you're a world-renowned war correspondent. You could have chosen a more extraordinary and meaningful life. So why?
Does a life need to be extraordinary to have meaning? She looks up. Once, I was told not to waste film on wounded soldiers who wouldn't survive another day, and to photograph grand victories instead. But what about them? These lives that once existed? Were they just wasted? Margaret may not be extraordinary. She comes into this world, courage, carrying her mother's love for her. The mother smiles, gently stroking the girl's head. To grow with resilience and leave your own mark on this world. Isn't that greatness enough?
That why you turned your back on fame and fortune for that ordinary, nameless man?
Perhaps. A camera shutter only faces forward. I've never had the time to dwell on the scenery I've left behind. The man stared blankly for a moment, then lifted his head, watched the battlefield below being torn apart by the artillery.
3 whistles. After 3 whistles, we'll launch our final charge against the corrupted down the mountain, covering the civilians' evacuation. All our tanks are destroyed. We might not be able to hold these monsters back, so many of us won't survive.
I understand. Thank you for your sacrifice, Pavlov.
What I mean is, if there's anything else you want to tell her, don't have much time.
After a moment of silence, the mother slowly kneels before her daughter, smiling warmly, her eyes shining with pride and expectation. She takes her daughter's hand, revealing a purple game console clutched tightly in the small, delicate palm. Remember the game we've been playing together? What was the name of that goddess in it? I remember... Her name is Nirvatia. And what does Nirvatia say when darkness catches up to you? Keep running. The speechless girl clutches her hand tightly, struggling to remember those crucial words. Keep running. Don't look back. Keep running. Don't... Eat it with Mama once more. Keep running. Don't look back. Running. Don't look back. 3 whistles pierce the air, and desperate battle cries erupt across the mountainside. The girl, her hand in her mother's, runs forward in a dazed, bewildered state. Keep running. Don't look back. Over the hill. Keep running. Don't look back. Across the plains. Deafening explosions erupt overhead, the ground beneath her feet cracking and collapsing, as one life after another falls behind her. She ran through the hail of bullets and shells, falling again and again, her feet bloodied and raw. Yet each time, she rose amid the artillery fire, silently repeating her mother's final words. The stench of blood filled her nostrils, her lungs on the verge of collapse. As her body teetered on the brink of breakdown, she glimpsed tiny figures appearing on the horizon. Countless brave and kind rescuers were rushing toward the lone girl with all their might. Are you alone? As if suddenly remembering something, the girl whirls around. The desolate and boundless plains stretch before her, nothing but howling wind. No one was there. What has she forgotten? It seems that from that day onward, Nirvatia, Margaret, began forgetting many things. Yet perhaps she has never realized that some things have been etched into her very life from the beginning. Keep running. Don't look back. Running. Don't look back. Keep running. Don't look back. Keep running. Don't look back. So much time has passed after all. I've come such a long way, haven't I? All this time, whenever I was drowning in the pain of my past, you were there, reminding me to always keep running. Thank you, Mama. Rest easy and watch over me. I'll be brave and kind just like you were, and carve out my own path in life.
I've met countless ordinary yet remarkable souls. From them, I've gathered what I needed to mend my wounds and piece together the answers I sought. Now, like you and them before me, I'm ready to sacrifice some of my own happiness to spread it to others instead. For a righteous cause. For a better tomorrow. And now, I must continue on my way. Perhaps one day, Nirvatia's memories will be consumed by the seedling, causing her to forget her past once again. But she will not be afraid of forgetting. Because at this very moment, she is walking the path toward her future. The immortal legends that echo through time persist, not because heroes are born great, nor because their suffering is relatable. They endure because those vibrant souls within the stories chose to swim against the current instead of turning back, standing firm in their beliefs and the paths they've chosen. Humanity's history is such a legend. Tides rise and fall, oceans transform into fields, every light will dim, and every life will fade. Yet remarkably, throughout the long years, humanity has neither been extinguished by any catastrophe, nor cowered before any darkness. Because humanity's courage, their faith, their very lives will always inspire the generations to come. The dying night will always pass. And when the sun rises, a better tomorrow will surely follow. We honor the heroes who fought bravely for liberation, sacrificing themselves without fear. We honor the idealists who pursued truth relentlessly, searching for answers despite the circumstances. We honor the great people who burned passionately in darkness for a better tomorrow, even if their names are lost. We honor the 28,812 people of Carthage who went back during the Great Actalic Explosion. Your names remain unknown. But your triumphs will be remembered forever. To the nameless, a better tomorrow. Oh? Control Court, Babylonia. In the dimly lit interrogation room, an irregular cube slowly illuminates. All our leads have gone cold. I'm hoping you might have some good news for me. I've got major bad news and minor bad news. Which would you like to hear first? Yeah, standing ovation, GIF. That was a great ending. Or I guess, almost ending. The good news. Ishmael isn't here. Cut the nonsense. Fine, here's the deal. The Grey Raven Commandant and Nirvatia from the Science Council have formed an alliance. They've already recovered the research data from the Carthage Research Institute. If nothing goes wrong, Science Council will likely catch up to Dominic-era mind research levels within a few months. What happened to the artificial creation in Carthage? The one that's similar to Sephira? During cross-examination, both Luke and Nirvatia claimed they never saw anything like that. Your assessment? They're lying. She answers without a moment's hesitation. Is there even worse news? Listen, Senior. Isn't it about time you tell me what this Sephira actually is? We're supposed to be teammates, you know? In another day or two, even the Science Council will know more than I do. Who knows? If you humor me, I might just share some actual good news with you. According to Dominic's theory, the mind of all constructs originates from a mother data tide, which Dominic called the Philo-tree. Well, that's a massive info dump right from the start. Could this be the legendary collective unconscious? The inherent instability of individual minds makes constructs highly susceptible to self-collapse and disintegration when facing chaotic information invasions like the punishing virus. However, certain specialized frames can connect their minds to the Philo-tree through specific mediums, thereby gaining power to resist external data attacks. This medium is the Sephira you've been tasked to destroy. Oh, I see. So what about that good news? Our field operative's informant reports that satellite imagery has captured the agent codenamed Ashling at a location called Izet. Izet, the mobile fortress. That's right. I've heard that Kamui from Strikehawk appears to be the only survivor from that place. So the agents have also become aware of Dominic's legacy. And you call this good news? Lesty flicks her sunglasses and saunters out of the shadows with a cold smile on her face. The fiercer the storm, the bigger the catch. The more chaos they stir up, the better our chances to make our move, Senior. Okay. Well, that was foreboding. I still don't know. So, that cube. It showed. The only other time it showed up was when Nirvatia was trying to do her big broadcast, tell the world the truth thing. It foiled her plans, and it called itself the Tower. And that whole time, I was like, I've never heard of a being called the Tower on Babylonia. I don't know who the fuck that is. I'm assuming that irregular cube at the end was also the Tower. So, who the fuck is the Tower? What do they want? Also, they said, so the Philo-tree is the collective unconscious, and the Sephira frames, I think, are frames who can connect to it, maybe? There's a lot to think about here, and a lot we don't know. Also, Ashling is back. If you remember from a few chapters ago, that little baby girl who seemed so innocent and sweet, and is some kind of horrible monster. Not even necessarily an ascendant, and she doesn't seem like she's mechanical. I don't even know what she is. And she's still up to stuff. I think John Doe might be working with her. I can't quite tell. But now she's going to some place called Izet. Kamui from Strikehawk is the only survivor. Well, guess who's getting a new frame next version? And I'll talk about that very quickly. Not right now, Bianca. Find Kamui in here. Probably way toward the bottom.
this is Kamui. He is, he's shown up here and there in the story. He's one of the characters who's been in the game since launch. There haven't been... Is that 9S? Yes. There was a Nier collab back in the day. So yes, that is 9S. I also have A2. But Kamui is one of the few characters who's been a playable character in the game since launch. And among the small number of playable characters who've been in the game since launch, he is the only one who has never gotten a new frame. Never. He's had 2 frames since launch. Well, technically one of them wasn't obtainable until a couple weeks after launch, but it was still in the game. And those 2 frames are all he's had. And now, after 6 years, he finally gets another one. Like, I'll be real with you, he's not even one of my favorite characters, but I'm just like, it's been so long, buddy. It's been so long. He finally is going to be relevant again. Yeah, that's exciting. And I've already seen, because they've already announced the next patch, so I've already seen some stuff at his next frame, and it looks really good. I just want to quickly find an image if I can. I'm gonna try to put it on the screen. Let's see. One moment. I'm getting there. So, I'm gonna do... Side note, they kissed? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! The girlies! Well, I'm not the girl, you know what I mean. So I'm gonna get a bit of a... Somebody's other frame is probably a bit better for getting a look at his face, because this one's got like the really high collar. This is his other frame. So this is Kamui. This is the model he's had since the game launched like 6 years ago. See? See? And this is his new frame. Look at the improvement. Also, on a more selfish note, this is like the first new male construct frame we've gotten in like 2 years. It's been far too long. But yeah, he looks really good. I'm really excited about him. And that is going to be all for tonight, I believe. That was a really good chapter. I really, really, really liked it. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't super looking forward to Nirvatia, but damn, that story chapter was pretty good. Okay. So I will be streaming again tomorrow night. When's my next surgery? Friday morning, I believe. I don't know the exact time. Well, it's definitely on Friday. I don't know the exact time. I think it's going to be in the morning. They're not going to be able to tell me the time until tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm going to stream again. Tomorrow night. Tomorrow, a new Wuthering Waves main story interlude quest comes out. So it's probably going to be a bit shorter than like most of the main story quests in that game. But I'm going to do it tomorrow. Gonna handle it tomorrow night. And then the next day I'll have my next surgery. So I'm probably going to just take a few days off. Because this surgery is like, it's not super invasive. They're not doing any incisions or anything. I don't think it'll take me very long to recover. But I am definitely gonna carve out a couple days for myself at the very least. But don't worry, I'll be back before long. And thank you for the well wishes. I'm sure it'll go well. I'm way less concerned about this surgery because it doesn't have any incisions or anything. That's the stuff that really freaks me out. Anyway, let's see who is available to raid. And let's see who we haven't raided in a while. Okay. I think let's raid our friend Thane Velasco. He's like a archer, bounty hunter, VTuber, and I think he's very funny and nice. So let's just go say hi to him. I don't know what game he's playing. It's a game. But let's go say hi, everybody. Yeah, I'll tell that stone who's boss. And as I've said before, that stone's gonna have a rough meeting with one Richard Laser. Dick Laser. Anyway, thank you all for coming. I hope you all had a nice time. I had a very good time myself. And I will see you all tomorrow. See you later. Bye-bye. Wait. False alarm. We will not be raiding Fane. His raids are closed. So instead, let's raid... Oh no, she just stopped. God damn it. Oh boy, I'm floundering a bit here. Okay, who else is here? Who else is around? And who haven't I raided in a bit? Okay, I think, because it actually has been a little while since I raided him, we're going to instead, raid our good friend Kiro, who's playing some more Hades too. Okay, so let's go say hi to Kiro! Now bye-bye for real!